Hi, Syrups. Hi. Oh, the chat is still... I forgot to put it back underneath the model capture. There we go. Hi! Hi! Also, it's way too big. Way too big. Too big. Too big. Hold on. Hold on. Gotta shrink you. Okay, there we go. Hi! Hi, Syrups! Hi! Hello! How is Syrups doing today? Hope Syrups are having a good Sunday. I'm finally free from the shackles of work for 2 days. I've been freed. I'm so sleepy right now. Oh, don't stay up too late. Don't stay up too late. You should get some sleep if you need to. Keep shrinking Chaz and put us on your 5. I don't have a 5 head. I don't got 5 head. I don't got 5 head. Party has her weekend at the week start. Yeah. So while everyone else is starting their week, I get to just not do anything. Hello, boy. Hello. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. My bad, 7 hit. That's mean. That's mean. Hello. How's Syrups doing today? I hope Syrups had a good day. Today was definitely a better day than yesterday. I don't know. I was just like, I was super anxious yesterday. I don't know what happened. I started thinking about stuff during work, and then it just kept going and going and going and going. And it wouldn't stop. I enjoyed my birthday yesterday. Oh yeah! Happy birthday! I hope you had a good birthday. 5 heads are majestic. Would you guys still love me if I had a 5 head? Oh my goodness, sorry. I've been like consistently waking up around like the later end of 10 a.m. to early 11 a.m. recently. But I'm still tired. I'm still tired. Yeah. My day has been better today. Good evening, hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Oh, sorry. Goodness. Keep hiccuping. Yeah. I don't know if I have that much to yap about today. We yapped so much the other day that I'm just like, what do I yap about today? I hate waking up past 8. I'm a sleepy girl. I need my sleep. The only way you'll ever see me waking up at 8 a.m. is if I go to bed at like 10 or 9 p.m. 5 head Bonnie, 1 happy, 1 mad, 1 sad, 1 silly, 1 sleepy. Goodness, sorry. I've just been playing a lot of Magical Princess on my Legion recently. I've just been playing that with my Legion. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun daughter raising game. I was like, should I stream this? But I also need more things to do offline. I need more things to do offline, or else I just sit there looking at my Steam library and just going, Got the censor button ready this time? Yes. Beach Bonnie was so pretty. Gotta head back tomorrow I have to head back tomorrow, so I have to wake up at 7 or 8. Oh, it's so early. How's your daughter been? She is good. I finished my first run in the game. I guess it, like, does loops? It does loops in the game. So I'm on my second loop right now. I'm gonna try and have my daughter Yuri the queen. I'm gonna try to have her Yuri the queen in this one. But yeah. I was gonna say something and then I forgot. Another game I have been playing recently, I talked about it a bit on the it's a bit of a I would not recommend playing it if you have a weak stomach. I started reading Euphoria. I started reading Euphoria because I had been curious about it for a while, and I was just like, why not? And like, it's gross, yeah, but it's just like, the voice acting in the game is so over the top, it just kind of like, my immersion is broken from how, like, over the top it is, if that makes sense. Funny playing one of the wildest visual novels around for funsies. Well, I had heard about it and I was like, well, I just want to see what all the fuss is about, you know? Because you can't get the full picture just from watching a YouTuber talk about it in a video essay. Well, we were not feeling well the other night. Do you feel okay tonight? Yeah, I was not doing too hot, but I'm doing better now. I imagine the VAs were screaming half of the time. Well, yeah, but like the way they're screaming is just like, I'm not gonna lie, it made me laugh a few times just because of like how ridiculous it sounded. Especially like in the beginning, cause like I don't know how many of you know what goes on in the game, but in like the intro to the game before you even like choose any girl's route to go down, you're kind of like introduced and like one of the characters gets killed off pretty quickly. The noises she made when she got electrocuted, I couldn't take it seriously. I couldn't. It was not. It just. I don't know how to describe the sound the voice actor was making, but it's like, I don't know. It just, it didn't. It was not what I was expecting, and it's just like, I don't know. It just kind of. It's just the way she sounded was like, I really don't know how to describe it, but it's I'm really trying not to think about it. I really can't find any words. Hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Hey, Mama Syrups. Hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. The sound bro made was toaster in the water plus person. Slow to reverb, of course. It's just kind of, kept making noise like, blah, 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 blah. It was kind of like that, but not exactly. But it was just over and over again, and I was just like, what am I listening to right now? Because obviously it's not gonna be like accurate, I guess, because they're not gonna electrocute the voice actors. They're not gonna electrocute the voice actor to get something accurate, but I don't know what I expected. Sounds like the type of random sounds I make. Why not? What? I think that might be a little bit illegal. Perhaps. Just a little bit. Meta acting is the best acting. Hi Wishy! Hi Wishy! How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good night. But yeah, and like there was another part where, oh god, what was the part I'm thinking of? I haven't like continued playing it in like a few days just because I've been playing Magical Princess instead. But I started going down the teacher's route first because I was looking at a guide and I decided I would just do that first. Baba says, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that sucks. Yeah, graduations are rough. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, the noises they make in that game are just like, also the dialogue is pretty ridiculous. The dialogue in that game is ridiculous. I don't really know how to describe this game without getting smitten down. Which game are you talking about? It's a visual novel called Euphoria. I was curious about it, so I decided to play it myself. I don't know if you know about that one, Wishy. Oh, yeah! You played Euphoria? Is it a loot game? It's definitely not appropriate. I would not be able to play it here at all. At all. Like, at all. It's one of the most well-known visual novels. Sounds very ecchi. It goes a little beyond that. Yes, it can be at times. It's very bizarre. Yeah. If ChronoClock If ChronoClock was risky, that is an instant yeah, no, that would be instantly, like, gone. I'd be gone. I couldn't show anything from that game. I could show anything. Which is why I'm playing it in my free time. Crockpot chicken and rice. Yeah, that's a no. Yes, very no game. I don't know. Just like, I'm gonna be so real. Like, I've either been laughing or just like staring at my screen in disbelief because of just like the dialogue, the writing in the game. I was just specifically with because I've gotten up to, what was it, I think I got up to the bonus level that they do in the game on the teacher's route. It was, I think, like the second round that they go into. The dialogue in that part is, I just kept laughing at it because I was just like, what the fuck am I reading right right now. Is it at least good? I don't know. I guess it just depends on your tastes, question mark? 'Cause, okay, so like the main character is like sadistic, basically. He likes, seeing other people in pain and shit. I think it's so bad and shocking that it can be funny. Yeah, like... It's so, like... I've had a really hard time taking it seriously. Like, I haven't felt attached to any of the characters like I have in any of the other visual novels we've played. It's just kind of like, okay. That's a line to walk in on. Hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. In any aspect? I mean, again, that would just kind of depend on the person, because, like, there's people out there who say, like, this is, like, the best game, this best visual novel ever, but to me, it just kind of feels like it's trying a little too hard to be edgy. Or to be, like, I don't know. I don't know, just to me, personally, it feels like it's trying too hard. I feel like people only say that ironically. Well, I was looking at the reviews for it on what's it called? What is it called? Manga Gamer, I think. And people were like, "Wow, this was it's so disturbing, but the more you play, the more the story unfolds, and wow." And I was like, "Okay, like at least maybe the story will be good," but I mean, I haven't gotten too far into it, so maybe I'll ease up on it, but so far I'm just kind of like, well, it's gotta get those quirky demographics. Yeah. Last time I heard quirky, I got slimed out at 4. What? What do you mean? This reminds me of edgy anime novels, but like if you combine it with ecchi, it's much past ecchi. It's full on, like, it's full on stuff. It's full on stuff. Yeah. It's Euphoria. I wouldn't have that much hope. Yeah. Yeah, I'm coming to learn that. I'll probably at least finish the teacher's route and decide, cause like I at least wanted to unlock the childhood best friends route, which isn't immediately playable. You have to play one of the other characters' routes in order to unlock hers. And I don't know if I have the willpower to do that. The story's kind of but maybe some of the routes are interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'll play Rika's route. She's the only one for some reason. Well, no, the teacher's name is Natsuki. I don't remember. Oh, no, the one that's kind of like the same as the main character, Nemu. She's very sadistic too. I don't remember the other girls' names. But Rika, she pisses me off. She pisses me off, because what do you mean that... Oh my gosh, she whines so much, and like... She whines so much, she cries all the time, and she's literally like... So, like, the part where I stopped, it was like a little, not... It was like a bit after this part of the game that I paused. It's like the bonus round or whatever. If you do the bonus round, it unlocks the VIP room, and this girl's like, Senpai, can you please do the bonus round so that I can go into that VIP room, please? And he just goes with it, and I'm just like, I would have slapped her. I would have slapped her. I would have slapped her. She's annoying. And you know what? Even he does let her into there. He does let her in there after the bonus game. He relinquishes his spot and gives it to her. That pissed me off. Don't it? Yeah, that pissed me off. I was like, that girl has not done anything but whine and cry this whole time. And while you and the teacher have been having to do all this stuff, and now she feels like she's entitled to this room. I don't like her. I don't like her. She's annoying. And then because she doesn't want to pee in the bucket that's given to them, she just pees herself. And I was like, girl, this could have been avoided if you just went and peed in the other room. Like, come on. Come on. Come on. She makes me mad. What I like about the bucket. Also, if they are given a bucket, their toilet is a bucket. Their toilet is a blue bucket. In this facility they're locked in. Why do your bodies kind of cringe the basement movie? What does that mean? I forgot about the part where someone pisses themselves in that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not surprised that that game had that in there, but... I don't like her. I don't like that character. It might be the first time that I've played a visual novel where, aside from the main character that you're playing as, that another character has, like, made me so annoyed. I gotta get the Omodashi fan somehow. I guess it's, Since we're on the topic, what is your favorite visual novel? I've been trying to get more into visual novels, but I only have played like 8 visual novels and have 8 on the backlog. 2. So far, I think my favorite one we've played has been Canon. But I also haven't played that many yet, so it'll probably change as we go along. But so far, Canon has been my favorite visual novel. That one was good. That was a good visual novel. But I have, like... Also depends on the genre of visual novels you're into. Yeah, that's true. Most of the visual novels I have are romance-based. How do you spell it? It's K-A-N-O-N. Canon. Why is it? I'm not stinky! I'm not stinky. I took a shower. I literally just took a shower, like, an hour ago. But yeah, that one's really good. I enjoyed Canon a lot. Though the main character Yoichi does make me want to smack him around a little bit just cause he's kind of dumb, but it's okay. As you know, LA Noire, that game is very graphic, not suited for kids in general. I think I've heard of that one, yeah. Never played it though. I was about to talk about, huh? What are you talking about? And you clearly didn't shower well enough because I think you're just smelling yourself. I feel like every visual novel protagonist is at least a little stupid. This is true. They are all a little stupid. They are the tools dumb. I sip the screen, that's you. I think you guys are delusional. Yeah, look at Yuichi. Yuichi is a dumbass. Dumbass! The main character in Euphoria is like... I don't know if dumb is the right word to describe him. I'm kind of neutral on him, to be honest. Like, I don't really, like, have an opinion on him. I mean, you need to relate to the main character, so... Shut the fuck up. Anyway. Mentally challenged. But yeah. Maybe I'll like, develop more of an opinion more as I play, but I don't know. I'm just kind of neutral on him right now. Don't worry about it. You're playing smart. You don't have to lie to me. I know. You wanna lie to me. But yeah. That's all I've been really doing this past week. I've been playing Magical Princess and Euphoria, but just very opposite ends of the spectrum. Very, very opposite ends of the spectrum from what I've been playing. It's been a wild ride so far. Oh my goodness. Wishy plays wild games, but like they're all peak for some silly reason. That's just cause Wishy is peak. That's not a lie, I'm more than 100% certain that you're at least smarter than I am. How do you know though? I can't do math. Math is hard. I don't like it. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm still waiting for my 3D to arrive. I genuinely don't know when that thing is arriving. I've been checking Throne, but I don't think it's gonna give me any new information. I don't think they're gonna give me more information. A true intelligence is attained from solving the fave. I heard your ASMR was pretty good. Thank you! I'm glad that Syrups liked it, even though it was my first attempt. You were really scared. I was. There's no ETA, no. Whenever I go to the tracking, like track item section in Throne for it, it just says, you will automatically receive tracking information for this item. For more information, please contact the partner merchant directly. Wait, there's a Throne. There is, yes. I just don't advertise it. I don't really advertise it. And if I do say anything about it, it's going on my alt, so... Yeah, honestly, your natural ASMR, like you... yeah, sorry, I had a stroke. Like you hold it and you'll make waves. Ooh! Shame on Verbo. I mean, Syrups don't have to. That's just something completely optional. That's just there. I don't like bringing it up. The part where you scratched your mic sounded like when you opened the gates of hell, but it was really good. The gates of hell! What the heck? But yeah, I don't know if I should just email 3DO about it and say, hey, can I get my tracking for this, please? I don't know. Because Throne hasn't updated it at all. So, I don't know. Because, like, I know the last time I checked the website, they said that they were gonna be taking longer to process orders because of the big influx of orders they were getting. Yeah, just in case we want to buy a little snack. I don't even have snacks on there, though. I don't got snacks on my throne. Spent all my money on bottles of syrup. But why? You can just make your syrups have their own syrup. Why would you need to buy syrup? You are syrup. How long has it been? Says it was purchased on the 21st. So on Tuesday it'll have been 2 weeks. It's nearing 2 weeks since it was ordered. Surprise snack gift. I don't have surprise gifts turned on because I'm afraid. I'm afraid. So, like, do I sweat syrup? Yes. Yes, you do. Yeah, I checked the website again. It still says we are currently experiencing a 1 to 2 week shipping delay due to a high volume of orders. We appreciate your patience. But I just want to know where mine is at. I just want to know where mine is at. That would be nice. But once we do get it, I will put up for whenever it does come in. I'll schedule our first public ASMR. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I keep yawning. But yeah. I don't know what else to yap about today. I'm pretty empty brained today. I don't know why. Like, I told you guys about the games I've been playing, and then all I've been doing other than that is working on things and going to work. That's all I've been doing. It's either play game, work on stuff, or stream, or go to work. Bird brain bot. Let's play that. Yeah, we might play a little earlier than usual. What you doing, headpad? I am scared. I'm scared of another jump scare happening. Did you check out more information about the couple too? I did. It seems like a really cute game. I want to play it. You're making me yawn. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Scared to be jump scared again. Yes, I don't want to. But I have to see this route through. I have to see it through. I have to. Okay, let me switch trees real quick. Okay, so just making sure. Yep, still here. This is still here. Maybe I'll put it like right side up. Can I reset transformation? There we go. She's scared of Makotos. I am! I don't want to get bugged. I don't want to get smitten down by Mr. YouTube. Okay, there we go. I think, actually I'll make it a little bit smaller, just a little bit. There we go. Oh, ah! Accidentally turned off my preview. Okay, there we go. Frame 1 sensor, you love to see it. Phone reaction time, gotta go nuts today. Gonna have to leave early though, I have classes tomorrow. Oh no! Oh no, classes. Are your classes also in, it's like final season for a lot of people. Is it also for you? But I do hope your classes go well. Oh my gosh. Yes? Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I lost one yesterday. A final? Ugh, my chest kind of hurts after that last hiccup. Oh. Why does my body hurt me for no reason? Oh no! I'm sorry. How was it? Hiccup. The hiccup of doom and despair. Like my chest hurts now. I don't know why it did that. Ow. Oh yeah, I am afraid. I am afraid. I'm afraid of more things happening. Oh, and I hope the rest of your finals go okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me load. I think I have to put it up like right immediately, cause I was when I was showing Echo, I accidentally skipped forward a bit and saw that it happens again. So you get Bunny Suit Bonnie for the time being. A few days passed after that. Well, today seemed like it'd be hot again. It was still a nice day. She's I mean, she's not nude this time. She's not nude this time. She's just in her underwear, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it, man. Bunny, my beloved. I prefer the bunny suit more, to be honest. The whole story is gonna be bunny. So it's totally safe to show, right? Is that allowed? Is that... Hold on, let me... Can you show undergarments on YouTube? Yes, you can. It just can't be explicit content. So I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. Cause knowing this game, probably not a great idea. Do you really want to take? I'm not taking that risk. No. I'm good. Oh dang, I have to read Makoto's dialogue because I'm covering the screen. Gosh dang it! I'm gonna lose it, Syrups. I'm gonna lose it! It's times like this I just gotta think. Thank goodness it isn't winter, huh? While nervously getting dressed on the rooftop, Makoto flashed me an easygoing smile. Why do I have to read this? That said, Ray, having you watch me like this kind of makes me burn up a little more than I ought to. Yeah, sure. I'd just be digging my own grave if I said that what I was actually thinking out loud, so I gave her a mechanical response. Once again, I was just keeping my eye on Makoto out of concern for her today, but I just couldn't pass up the chance to see her in her birthday suit! I have to learn Japanese just for this. I'd retold my usual routine so I could accommodate going to school early each morning in order for her to get her uniform. Hey Ray, why do you hang out with me so much anyway? Makoto asks a rather sudden question. Well, I'm kind of worried about you. You just want to watch me changing, right? I certainly won't deny that, but I kind of a feeling you want me to watch as well. Whoa. Being Bonnie is suffering right now. Oh my god. I just realized a solid 50% of the gameplay is gonna be a censor. Well, I guess I don't deny that either. Maybe. Even while Makoto repeated my words back at me jokingly, she was still visibly blushing. Japan's writing. Well, I'm gonna enjoy the line reads. Well, for body voice acting. It didn't have the same level of destructive power as the first time I saw, but all the same, watching it was Okay, Ray. Though I'd been keeping an eye on her, Makoto had been pretty level-headed these past few days. Or rather, she'd been spending her time after school stashing extra clothes in various places around town so she could make use of her teleportation powers more often. Okay. For example, she'd stashed him in one of the coin lockers at the monorail station, in the park's public restroom, and in the storage rooms of households that had connections to the Jonochi family. Oh my god. I was just following her around, but it still felt kind of fun, almost like I was a spy playing cat and mouse. But since I recalled Makoto having said she wanted to use that watch to help people... Makoto, have you seen the news lately? Oh, I can finally show it on the screen now. Makoto asks me nonchalantly. She finished getting dressed by now. From what I've heard, an anonymous donor had made large contributions to charities and volunteer organizations here in town. Oh, that was her. So it really was you. My presumption turned out to be correct, but I still felt kind of disappointed. It's a nice story and all, but where'd you get that kind of money from anyway? I got she's clothes. What? She's robbing people! Makoto repeated herself in order to emphasize that point. Oh my gosh. Where'd you hear about those con men? Wait, on second thought, I'd rather not know. Bad dudes would almost be a compliment to Makoto's own family line, compared to the really bad dudes she was talking about. Oh, sorry. Ugh. Allergies started acting up out of nowhere. I respect your honesty, but thank you. This was, after all, a matter of dirty money changing hands. A chivalrous thief stealing money from the dregs of society and giving it back to the common folk, like Robin Hood. Ishikawa Goemon, or maybe Lupin for a more modern day example. Thanks for the price increase on my shirt. That's decent value, but what the heck? I made for a lineup of characters that I figured Makoto would probably be into. Even if you were taking out the trash, so to speak, I kind of feel like you're overdoing it. That's not it. I just don't want you to do anything reckless. Is it not though? Well, you were using your powers of transformation and teleportation to sneak into those guys' hideouts, weren't you? In that case, do you use teleportation to make your escape too? Or are you optimistic enough to think that you can say the Jonochi family name and get off scot-free? Take care of them herself! You're seriously freaking me out. She was giving off an aura totally different from any ordinary girl, which was practically making my hair stand on end. But anyway, all joking aside, I still say it's reckless. I feel like I should purchase this soon so I can play along as Bonnie narrates. Imagine there was just a mod that it was just me reading all the main characters' lines. Alright, that's just aura farming. Test you? Makoto spread her arms out freely. I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm all in on Makoto. Yes, so huh? If you want to have a go, then you're fine with wherever I end up touching you! God, Ray, I hate you. Makoto just stood there with exasperation, not letting her guard up. She was a sitting duck. Though I wasn't a pro at martial arts or anything, so I probably couldn't make that judgment. But seeing things as an amateur, she certainly didn't seem unprepared. I would pay for Bonnie to read all the Japanglish I know! I'm afraid. Me too. I knew Makoto was strong, and that she could throw a punch which somehow stopped right in front of your face before it hit, but I doubted she could actually win against a serious male opponent. But I suppose I could just give her a little fright this time. Just grabbing her by the arm should suffice. Should I put this up? Should I put this up? Just as those thoughts went through my head, I lunged forward without warning to grab Makoto by the arm. Then, somehow I find myself looking at the blue sky. Huh? It's Makoto, put it up! I missed the last read. What was the story even about? Basically the main character, Ray, found a pocket watch that belonged to his grandfather, and he got hit by a truck, but because he had that pocket watch and it broke on impact, it sent him back 5 minutes. So basically, every hour, he can go back in time by 5 minutes. And bro is using it to find love. It seemed that, as I took my first step forward, something had swept my leg out from under me, and my foot never touched the ground to finish that step. I'm just putting it up every time I press enter, just in case. Actually, not bad, not gonna lie. I wanted to romance the clock goddess. That's the goddess of the clock that he has. But you have to play all 4. Oh my gosh. 4 of the girls' routes to unlock the clock goddess route. Oh, hiccups, they're not. Oh. Oh, hail our foot goddess. I had to chug some water real quick to help with the hiccups. Last week, Makoto found her own pocket watch, but this one makes her invisible, and I think she can teleport? Yes, she can teleport. She can, she doesn't go invisible. She can, like, copy other people's appearances, basically. So she looks like them and sounds like them, but she can't transform into anyone of the opposite gender, apparently. But you gotta do everything first. Why must they block up Miu and Crow from us? I don't know! But yeah, she can teleport, but the drawback with her teleportation is that she ends up naked. She ends up naked! Are we down for Vani unlocking the goddess route? Cause it gets her to play the sister route! Tragic out for Yaoi bros. No Shuji route. No Shuji route. Then the world went topsy-turvy, but luckily something had supported my back and let me down gently. Okay, it just goes back to her sprite. Of course that's what happens when they teleport! Not a drawback for Makoto, but a drawback for Bonnie! Huh? I hastily picked myself up and looked around. Evidently, I had been lying on the ground. Makoto smiled cheerfully. What happened to me? She said it like it was perfectly normal, but I still had no idea how she'd beaten me. Do you practice Aikido or something? Her father won't allow her to do anything. That makes sense. If you're that much of a threat with just your bare hands, you'd probably end up killing someone with a bamboo sword. While Makoto was talking, I lunged for her waist, intending to surprise tackle her. It's not like she said the first one to hit the floor was a loser, but since we'd already grappled a bit, I didn't hold back this time. Oh, we're on the floor again! Thud. Nice weather we're having. Okay, that's fine. I'm so scared! I'm so scared, Sirups! I'm so scared. I don't want to get jump scared again. Alright, I fold. I seriously didn't stand a chance against her. I told her as much as I got up again. Honestly, it's funny seeing you spawn camp the censor button. What's your opinion on the Fate visual novels, Bonnie? I have not played them, so I don't have an opinion. It's okay to be so. How the heck are you that strong anyway? She's the strongest one in her family? Strongest one in your family? If Michiru is a genius in every department, and Makoto's a beast whose fundamental ability is brute forcing her way out of every situation? How did I get to be surrounded by nothing but people like that anyway? Are you sure about that? Despite the smile on Makoto's face, the thought of putting herself in danger was making me frown. I'm still worried. You're a girl, aren't you? Makoto's expression went blank as she froze in place. Then... Why are you making those noises, woman? You're fine with me seeing you naked, but you're gonna get embarrassed about that? I sighed. Hey, wait a minute. I totally forgot about that. The realization hit me that I was the one who was misunderstanding things, not Makoto. The panic every time, I'm sorry! Bonnie's gonna accidentally turn off the sensor by accidentally Do not speak that into existence. Do not. Makoto was good enough at acting that it had totally slipped my mind, but I remember she told me she didn't really understand what being an ordinary girl was like. Meaning, while she was certainly aware of being female, she didn't really give a feminine sort of impression, and didn't pay any heed to the distinguishing characteristics of— What did he do? What did bro do? That's why she didn't mind leaving her clothes and underwear for me to pick up, and why she didn't mind if I saw her naked. Doesn't this game have a censor all NSFW button? Or is that it's one of those games that removes the content if you play the censored version? I didn't see it when I was going through the settings. Let me see. This one. Don't take. Sorry, you're licking the carpet. Do you have your finger on the button just in case, Miss Bonnabelle? Yes. Of course I do. Yeah, I don't think it has an option. Dolce! He's being a troublemaker right now. Hope you're doing better, by the way. Hello! Hello, welcome in. I am doing better today. He threw up a hairball this morning. He threw up another hairball. Tragic. So when someone actually started to treat her like a girl, that was when she'd get embarrassed. Hey, are you a prepubescent girl or something? I blurted out as a bad joke almost reflexively. Just as I thought, Makoto got flustered at being treated like a typical girl. So that was it. When it came to love and romance, I never expected Makoto to actually be this green about it. Considering how much he licks the carpet, I'm not shocked. Yeah, it's a problem. I couldn't help but sigh. If I didn't tell her directly, she'd never understand. You know, no matter how strong you are, you'll end up getting hurt if you make one little screw up. What if you end up with a scar? She wants a scar, if anything. They aren't cool in the slightest to me. I'm not in grade school anymore. Makoto, I'm trying to say that I do not want to see a scar of any kind on that cute face of yours. I refused to mince words with her as I said that. I'm gonna get to bed. Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night, good night. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have good sleep. Makoto's jaw incoherently flapped open and closed like a goldfish. For a second there, she kind of reminded me of Mew. Anyway, even if I'm being a pain in the ass about it, please don't do anything reckless, alright? Oh, she's cute. I bonked Makoto on the head. She was showing a rather strange new sort of personality. Come on, we better get to the classroom. Homeroom's gonna start soon. She's going home! Huh? Oh. She's gone! Just as my mind was trying to process what she said, she fumbled with her pocket watch and vanished. Hey! She was so quick that I couldn't even get my retort out before she was completely gone. Lying on the ground in a heap, where Makoto had been standing, was a school uniform she'd only just changed into. There's no way she could actually be that naive. If she was back at home now, I guess that meant she was intending to play hooky today. Jeez. All I could do was sigh yet again, and wonder when on earth I'd finally get a chance to confess to her. Never! You're never gonna be able to confess to her. Ultimately, Makoto ended up not being in class all day. There wasn't anything I could do, since I actually was in class like a responsible student, so nothing much happened for the rest of the school day. After all, it wasn't like I could make her show up. Since I hadn't had the opportunity in a while, I decided to invite some of my male friends to hang out after school like I'd usually done. We ended up walking around the shopping district for a while, and then went for karaoke. By the time we left, it was twilight. Seeing my friends off, then I took the monorail home. No, he's gonna ready the confession and she'll teleport away! As usual, my parents weren't home for dinner, but at least Michiru and Didi were there to keep things from getting boring. And I returned to my room. What, is she gonna teleport into your room? I haven't had a normal day like that in a long time. Except for the morning, of course. I reached out with my foot and hit the switch on the electric fan while lying in bed, rubbing my now sated stomach. Hi, Kroll! Returned I have. I was only over in the main building having dinner, though. I greeted Kroll as she floated into my room. Not really having much else to say to her, I rolled over in my bed and went back to reading my phone. As for Crow, she was watching the TV set I'd left on with extreme attentiveness. Oh, for goodness, how I missed you! Even when she's around, I don't exactly talk to her all the time. Things are usually more like this. An hour went by, nothing important happened. Chances Makoto teleports into his room, I'm like... I feel like it's gonna happen. What is it? Makoto's up to something! Oh, Makoto's. Just then, the phone on my pillow lit up, informing me I'd received a new message. Central Park. Once again, it was a message which consisted of only a location name. But it can't possibly be a prank this time. I remembered Makoto's little jest quite well, so I definitely wasn't going to fall for that a second time. But Goddess is our true love. I want her! Therefore, she must have had some other reason to call on me. Crow, would you be up for a nice little stroll in the cool evening breeze? It's Makoto. I think something's happened to her. She does not give a fuck. I don't mean it like that. I wanted you to come along, so you could see her and see her in that watch of hers firsthand. Her same foot goddess is the goat. Let me just put that up. Even as she griped about it, I dragged Crow out of the house with me. I'm just putting that up just in case. I walked through the night, which still bore much of the day's sweltering heat. Owing to the humidity, I felt like I was slogging through a tepid pool of water. I overheard her voice from overhead. Crow was floating through the sky above, gazing at the fully waxen moon. Aside from occasional interruptions from the sound of the monorail, running its usual course along the elevated tracks in the distance, it was a quiet night. Man, it's almost too quiet. I somehow had a feeling that maybe nothing important happened today because the real floor show was reserved for tonight. I want to be safe! Central Park, a location all but deserted at night. Even with a big... I usually read ahead again. Even with the street lamps lit up, the park was big enough that they wouldn't overpower the darkness, so very few people were likely to pass through at this hour. But all the same, tonight's moon bathed the park in its dim, white illumination. And under that full moon, which seemed ready to fall from the sky, there I saw it. Oh god. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! That's her getup, I guess? Why would she wear her school uniform, though? I don't get why she'd wear that. Because that gives away where she goes to school. A fox mask. It wasn't the kind of cheap mask they sell at the festivals, either. Its carved wood was unmistakably authentic. I'm back, welcome back! Because it's generic? I guess. It just looks elegant in that. Listen, Bonnie, she can only wear one thing or not wear it. I guess. Standing there, wearing that mask, was a girl. Bizarre was the first word to come to mind. Once she noticed my presence, the girl with the fox mask returned my gaze and brushed her hair back over her shoulder. From the outline of her body, along with her hair, I immediately realized who it was. Makoto. Oh, she took it off. Hey, those guys are, I don't know, like one of them could pretend to be asleep or something. What if they're hearing this conversation? Well, that girl with the fox mask looks awfully familiar with the skull uniform on. Makoto lifted up her mask and smiled cheerfully. Why does this give yandere vibes? I think it's because of the glowing eyes, maybe. There, she looks cooler with the mask on. She wore a quite casual smile on her face, almost as if she were talking about a movie she'd just seen. At her feet, several young men were sprawled on the ground. 4 to be exact. While none of them seemed to have any flesh wounds, they were all out like a light. What's going on here? It's like Clark Kent with the glasses! She gave me a blank stare. Makoto probably wasn't wearing that fox mask to scare me. It seemed like she was wearing it only for one reason. To hide her real identity from the aforesaid bad dudes. Taking out some bad dudes, she says. Damn it, I told you this morning not to do anything reckless. I naturally had to scold her about it, but Makoto gave me an equally stern expression in return. Attacking people? She had to teach him a lesson. I mean, she has a point. Right. Did you hear about these guys at home by any chance? Then perhaps you could have just gone to the police. She just wants to be a hero. With that kind of apology, I couldn't keep criticizing her without seeming like an unreasonable jerk. What's done is done. Besides, it was difficult not to sympathize with her motives when thinking about what kind of people she'd been dealing with. By the way, why'd you call me out here? You need me on cleanup duty or something? So why are we here? Oh. Okay. Okay, sure. Any lone girl who could completely overpower 4 dudes like that was definitely not one to be trifled with. That said, though, I never heard anything about you showing that much strength during PE classes. What, you'd be setting a record at the prefectural tourney or something? World record! Holy shit, she's freaking me out. You want a pat on the head or something? Even though I was joking, when she actually did hold out her head, I couldn't just not pat it. Makoto gave me an amused laugh, as if she were a cat. I'm still gonna worry about you, no matter what. They gave it a bet. Backing away from me with a skip, she turned around and nodded in understanding. Good call. It'd be the worst if they came to at a bad time and wound up thinking I was the one who whooped their asses. Oh. Soon after hearing her voice, Crow floated down from above my head. I guess she'd been watching everything that went down from an aerial view. Which reminds me, I recall her coming along with me, but seeing the aftermath of that whole floor show made me totally forget she was there. I thought she'd be angry at me for ignoring her, but her expression was surprisingly serious. Are you just walking home, Makoto? Oh, I see. It was a very tempting offer. Sorry, I need to buy something while I'm out, so I'm going the other way. No, I have to go up to the shopping district. Now that I've seen how much damage you can really do, I gotta say, I pity any sap who'd have the nuts to try to mug you. That is some pretty impressive crocodile tears. Waving goodbye to me, she turned around and started on her walk home. Now then, I had to find somewhere more secluded to talk to Crow. What is she gonna tell us? What has she found out? Eventually coming to a spot with no one else around, I waited for Crow to break the silence. Loki? Loki's in her pocket watch? What the heck? How'd he get in there? Loki. Isn't that Greek mythology? McDonald's owns Chipotle, she whispered softly. Well, whatever. Let's not sweat the minor stuff here. If I remember, Loki was some sort of trickster figure on inconsistent terms with the gods. But he was also foretold to be one of the primary causes of Ragnarok, right? Crow's eyes went wide with surprise, as if I really was the last person on Earth she expected would know about that old myth. Well, I've played enough RPGs in my time to memorize the names of a few Norse gods here and there. Don't worry about it. More importantly, is Loki a stronger god than you? Witnessing a showdown between gods sounded like quite the spectacle, but Crow just showed me an irritated face. Huh. Actually, I skipped the dialogue. I see. If Makoto's watch was a prototype of sorts, then it makes sense that it would have a lesser being than a full-blown god residing within it. Furthermore, if the watch had the two separate powers of transformation and teleportation, perhaps the entity which inhabited it was a hybrid of two individual entities. Well, that sounded kind of grotesque to me. I see. That must be why Makoto doesn't have someone like you to explain things to her when the situation calls for it. I know. There was no time for idle chattering. Back to the real issue at hand. Okay, so if that thing is calling itself Loki, isn't a god, does that mean Makoto doesn't need to worry about any sort of side effects or caveat to the powers she's wielding? Hmm?
ああも適当なものだと時計の持ち主にどのような影響が出るか分かったものではない。
Is she just gonna not exist one day? Hey, hold up. Naturally, it was that comment that made me get really serious about things. I know Makoto's been acting kinda weird lately, but she suddenly had these weird powers dropped into her lap, so isn't she just excited about that? Though, I had a hunch before that maybe it's her true underlying personality coming to the surface.
人間であるお主がそう感じたのならそうなのであろうよ。問題はなぜその誠の素の性格が今になって表に出てきたのかということだ。
Huh? Oh. I see. That reminds me. Makoto had kept her real self hidden from the view for quite a while. We'd grown somewhat closer owing to the secrets we shared with each other. But seeing Makoto starting to act differently at school too was definitely bizarre. So, does that mean it really is the watch's doing after all?
さすがに詳しいところはわからんが、お主に懐きすぎではないか?
Well, she's cute, so I was happy about that, but I wonder why she went that far. Maybe she was pranking me, or just got the feeling she could do as she pleased. Sort of like she's gotten overtly honest with herself, I guess.
理性の減衰、感情の増大か。あれが人間で遊んでいるつもりならあり得る話だ。
In other words, that thing's causing extreme sentimentality for her. The moment a special power fell into her hands, she wanted to make use of it right away. And she decided that refraining from showing her real self at school was a pain in the ass.
元の性格が実直なせいで人に迷惑をかけないのが幸いである。変調に気づくのは遅らせたな。
Makoto seems like a dutiful person. Someone who'd want to devote themselves to helping others and making the world around them a better place. Like Miyu, albeit in a different way, her way of life was one that would amaze most ordinary people.
とはいえ、このまま放置すれば、いずれ取り返しのつかない騒ぎを起こすのは間違いない。力に溺れた者の末路は、お主らも童話でもよく見るだろう。
She has a point. Well, no matter how strong Makoto is, she can definitely be clumsy at times. I guess I need to figure out how to get the watch from her. Huh? Wait. If Makoto's extreme sentimentality led to her acting very affectionate towards me, not to mention getting jealous of other girls talking to me, does that mean my feelings for her are mutual?
めでたいことだ。
God damn it. If it weren't for that stupid watch, I'd be having the time of my life right now! My head drooped forward, as I were a pitcher who just allowed the batter to score the winning home run. No, wait. This wasn't something I'd have to regret for the rest of my life. It wasn't like I was in the shoes of that pitcher who'd never be able to show his face in that stadium again. Why didn't I just come out and confess when I had the chance? Screw it! I guess I'll just have to clean up this mess so I can go shout it from the mountains then. Such was Crow's perfectly apt summary of this whole charade. Bro is crashing out. He is crashing out. Let me just put this up real quick, just in case. Okay, she's clothed. She is clothed. We're safe for now. So, basically, Makoto, if you keep holding onto that watch, it's just gonna raise hell for you, so give it to me.
やだ。
Immediate refusal. Such was my desperate attempt to convince her this morning.
ドア方面。
Keyword for now. Come on, I was just trying to take the easiest way out. I need to save this girl. Wait, let me see if I can have my romance. Fuck. It'll raise hell for the censor button. It was lunchtime and I covered my hand with my mouth as I dejectedly muttered my defense. Well, if Makoto actually knew what that watch would raise hell, she would have gotten rid of it a long time ago without me needing to say anything. In other words, I have to take it away from her by force. Well, I suppose anyone who's obtained a new power like that would be hesitant to give it up. If circumstances forced me to give up Crow's watch, even I would be hesitant, owing to my emotions.
それにしても学び屋というのはいつの時代も賑やかなものだ。楽しいですよ。それにしてもプロさんが教室にいるのは初めてですね。こんなに目立つのに皆さんがスルーしているのは不思議な感じです。
Dee Dee giggled. She was still the only person other than me able to see Crow. A passive observer who couldn't hear what we were talking about would naturally assume that it was just Dee Dee and I conversing. So, what brings you to the classroom, Crow?
ご主人や誠の様子が気になってな。
Yeah, right. You're just here to gawk, aren't you?
ただのではない。全力でやじ馬だ。
Don't boast about it!
誠さん
Dee Dee, unaware of the specific details about Makoto, wore a blank expression.
そういえば、ご主人様は最近誠さんと仲良さそうにしていますが。
Not yet, Dee Dee! Not yet! No, sorry. Dee Dee was taken aback by the whole situation. I guess she was kind of in the dark about everything. It's complicated.
もしかして振られちゃいましたか？私がセカンドチャンスでしょうか
？If anything, it's actually the opposite.
うじうじと鬱陶しい。
Well, I couldn't really talk about something like this in the middle of the classroom.
何の話をしてるの？
Oh, hi, Makoto! Crow disappeared into the ceiling to avoid Makoto as she came over. Well, it's not like she could have bumped into her or anything.
ご主人様、何のトークをしていたことにしますか？私の話をしてたんだ。なぜそれを？誠さんはエスパーですか？
Well, of course she'd know if we were right in front of her while we talk.
エスパーじゃないけど、超能力者ってのはあながち間違いじゃないんだよね。
That reminds me, Makoto, about that watch again.
またその話をするの？
Why this girl call the master? I don't know. She's been like... So, Dee Dee is like doing a homestay at Ray's place because her grandfather met Ray's grandfather and they were good friends. And then they said, oh, your granddaughter, your granddaughter should marry my grandson. And so they were technically fiancés? Question mark, but not really. But since she's been here doing the homestay, she felt like she couldn't just do nothing. So she's been acting as a maid, quote unquote, for the household. So that's why she's been calling him master. Makoto was obviously averse to talking about that topic, while Dee Dee was getting curious.
Okay?
Yeah, that pocket watch Makoto found at her own house belonged to my grandfather.
ご主人様が持ってるポケットウォッチですか？
Kind of stupid, not gonna lie. Yeah. I don't know why they decided that.
レイ君とお揃いのなんだよね。ペアアイテム。ほうほう、それは興味深い。
Well, the watch is one of my grandfather's cherished possessions and all, so I'd like to have it back. For Dee Dee, who didn't know the full details, that explanation would probably suffice.
レイ君がおじいさん思いなのはいいと思うけど、さすがにただじゃ返せないな。
What do I have to pay to get it back, woman? What if I gave you something in exchange?
何と？
I see. Makoto always reacts to things that seem interesting to her.
力ずくで奪えないから口八丁とは。せこいがお主らしいな。
I heard Crow's voice from the ceiling, but I couldn't see her. Leave me alone, will you? How about a wiener from my lunchbox?
いや、私別に腹ペコキャラとかじゃないんで。
Maybe money would be something you don't need more of, I guess. Wiener. Stop it! Should I offer her games, books, or stuffed animals? Since she's a girl, maybe she would like clothes and accessories? I thought about my options, but they were all things that could be bought with money. I couldn't think of anything that I could give her in exchange for a magical item. If I were to exchange my watch for her own, then dispose of it and try to get my own watch back from her. No, Makoto wouldn't agree to give up her watch first. On the other hand, if I gave her my watch first, then there would be nothing I could do if she stole it without giving me hers. While I was lost in my thoughts, Makoto seemed to have lost interest in the conversation. Yeah, give us an example! Oh. Didi chimed in at the perfect time. Maybe I could give you something that isn't tangible. I know I said something that isn't tangible, but I don't have any idea how I could give you friendship or devotion. Dude's talking crazy thinking about giving up his watch. Yeah. Take you in exchange? Take my what? Everything! Greed! Biblical levels of greed with this woman. Huh? Wow! I was shocked. Oh, how I wanted to hear those words from the normal Makoto. But the normal Makoto would never ever say that. As he's trying to rob us, we're the random peeps, not enough. Shuji's exasperated comment about our conversation was followed by Crow's voice from the ceiling, agreeing with him. I wish I could do that too. For now, I think I should wait. I don't want to make a hasty decision out of lust. I tried to play it down as if it were a joke. Indeed. I watched Makoto's mannerisms as we talked. Judging from the way she moved when I mentioned her watch must be wow, sorry. Be in that back pocket on the inside of her jacket. I've never tried stealing anything before, but maybe it's worth a shot? I could always turn back time if shit hits the fan, but... No, wait. If I put my hands anywhere near there, everyone would think I'm trying to grope her. Makoto, you can't say that! Didi, you can't say that either! Yeesh, this situation is just hopeless. Thanks a lot, Captain Obvious. I guess it wouldn't be right to try anything in the classroom. Lunchtime was almost over, so I'd have to wait until after school. After all, I'd be able to bring out the big guns then. And so, classes passed without incident until the end of the day. I kept my eye on the other students leaving the shoe lockers, and eventually spotted the specific person I was looking for. Michiru. Oh. What are you gonna say now, woman? As I called out for Michiru, who was swinging her parasol in front of her feet as she walked, a wonderful smile came to her face. Why? Did something good happen? While I had my guard up for a second there, this was indisputably the real Michiru. If hearing my voice is enough to make you happy, then your happiness comes so cheaply that I almost pity you. Holy shit, my wife's on screen. I sighed with exasperation as I took hold of her hand. Nevertheless, my offhand remark wasn't enough to remove the smile off from Michiru's face.
いえ、最近は兄様と登校することができず、もう学校など。
Michiru, you can't just stop going to school because we're not holding your hand! Please don't skip school.
兄様の帰りを部屋で待つ。
Living newlyweds!
悪くないと思いましたのに。
Oh my god, what is wrong with her? Yeah, that doesn't sound bad, but just cut me some slack here. Well, if I don't spend a little time with Michiru every now and then, she might end up becoming some kind of hermit. More importantly, I had a favor to ask of you.
お任せください。
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'd like you to listen to what I have to say this time, before you decide whether you want to help me or not. Basically, I wanted her to help me steal Makoto's watch. I didn't want to make the mistake of underestimating Makoto, so I put my faith in my strongest ally, Michiru. I had a fair fight in mind, blade against blade, fire against fire, one strong wit pitted against another. I was tempted to ask Miyu to be the brains of the operation as well, but I hesitated to involve someone from outside my family due to the nature of the heist we were attempting. Blah.
なるほど。
Back to the plot of the game! Michiru's eyes popped open with surprise, and she suddenly lowered her voice to a whisper. Huh? You already know what I want to ask of you?
兄様の妹として、以心伝心は当然のことです。
I don't know about that. No, I would have a feeling you're mistaken here. Would you mind telling me what you were expecting me to say?
ついに、私と。
Oh, can it? I should have expected you to say that.
兄弟とは良いものです。
No matter how I phrased it, I wasn't asking her to do a good thing. My reasons for wanting to do this are complicated, but I want to steal Makoto's pocket watch.
懐中時計？
Naturally, Michiru cocked her head in curiosity, so I told her the basic details of the situation.
なるほど。おじい様の遺品ですか。
I would have liked to solve things a little more peacefully myself, though.
交渉で返してもらえないとなると、少々強引にでも返してもらうしかありませんものね。
When I suggested stealing something from another person, Michiru showed no hint of hesitation. I already knew this too well, but contrary to her dainty looks, she can be surprisingly brutish. That's when Crow floated down from the sky.
ご主人、言われた通り、誠の向かった先を確認しておいたぞ。駅には行かず、徒歩で公園の方に向かった。
Going to the park.
今からでも追いつけるであろうよ。
Hi, hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a good night. I typed out thank you on my phone and held it up for Crow to read.
我が輩は飽きてきたので、モノレール。
She really likes that monorail. Crow disappeared into thin air, having done her part.
それで兄様、城之内さんに対してはどのような手段をお考えなんですか？
I'm pretty sure she keeps it in her jackets in her pocket. Is there any way to take it from there without her noticing?
もしかして私にそれをやれというお話なのですか？
Well, I figured you'd have a better chance at succeeding than me.
さすがにスリなんて練習したこともありませんし、そんなところに手を出してうまくいくとは思えませんが。
Even for a jack of all trades like Michiru, I guess this was a tricky thing to ask of her.
もっと何かこう
Threaten her!
弱みを盾にして
My god, she's crazy.
よくありませんか？
How unexpectedly brutal of you.
そんなに褒めないでください。
That sounds like something the villain in a Steven Seagal movie would do, though. You may have faith, but I don't.
あ、
What?
無理ですね。やめておきましょう。
That's why I fell in love with her.
というより、城之内さんってそんなに鋭い方でしたっけ？
Michiru said something surprisingly rude, but Makoto herself had said she was trying to conceal her true nature and abilities. Well, we can keep talking about it while we walk. Wouldn't want to stand around and end up missing her.
そうですね。
As she spoke, Michiru somehow produced a smartphone in her hand. Huh? Did she buy a new one or something? And besides, I didn't know Michiru even knew how to use a touchscreen phone. Huh? I practically patted every pocket in my clothing, but my smartphone was in none of them. When did you take that anyway? So she can steal! She can! With a smile, Michiru put my phone back in my chest pocket of my uniform. She stole! Coming to the park, I spotted Makoto hanging around and casually staring up at the monument. She realized we were there right away. God, just when I thought she couldn't get any better! That's why she's the best wife alongside Black Goddess! Michiru turned and bowed in the direction of Makoto's voice when she heard it. No, it's just a coincidence. I wanted to spend a little time with Michiru, since I've been spending so much time with you lately that I ended up ignoring my own family members. I told her the excuse I had prepared, a classic white lie. That's a cold stare coming from my sister. Which reminds me, I've never told Michiru the specific reason I'd been leaving for school so early every morning. My plan was hinging on Michiru, but still, that smile of hers was terrifying. Makoto nodded in agreement. She was certainly quick to confirm that. So cute. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, I accidentally skipped her dialogue. She would pursue that topic too. Is this how she's gonna steal the pocket watch? Makoto held up her hands, clearly trying to cover her breasts. I think you're misunderstanding here. Michiru's blind, so she just wants to have some idea of your appearance by touching your face and body. Hey, leave me out of this. Why is that your biggest question about this? Huh? Makoto grinned and waved her hands in front of her. With pleasure! Not sure why being touched is easier on the nerves than being seen, but you do you, Makoto. Shut up, Michiru! Hichem, I don't need your one-liners either. I know. I gave Michiru a push on the back, positioning her right in front of Makoto. Makoto got weirdly pumped up about the whole situation, but Michiru stayed calm as she stretched out her hand. What a sight for sore eyes. Michiru started by touching Makoto's head and cheeks, making her let out a ticklish yelp. I had gotten used to being touched like this by Michiru every morning, but it was fun watching her do it to someone else.
綺麗な人
Michiru mumbled under her breath as she felt the outline of Makoto's face.
そんなことないよ。謙遜は必要ありません。私はお世辞を言うような人間ではありませんから。
Michiru quietly spoke her reassurances as she moved her hands across Makoto's jaw, shoulders, and upper body. Have a sense you're ready! She was touching Makoto in order to steal the watch, but evidently she seemed to be genuinely interested in her appearance as well.
もしかしてこれ、やっぱりこのまま胸も触られるの？何か問題でもありますか？いや、あんまりいやらしい手つきで触らないでね。ご冗談を。
Despite Makoto's nervousness, Michiru giggled as she put her hands on Makoto's chest. Don't make those noises, woman! My little sister got to second base before me.
レイ君はレイ君で、なんか変なこと言ってるし。兄様。
Oh, come on. It's not like I can stop myself from thinking these things.
口に出す分だけ、まだ男らしいのかな。
As Makoto spoke with exasperation in her voice, Michiru finished her human braille reading and pulled her hands away.
ありがとうございました。これでよかったの？ええ。初めて城之内さんが見えました。みちるちゃんはこうやって形を知るんだね。
I can't blame him!
不思議な感じ。
How did it go? I stood by Michiru's side and whispered in her ear.
すごい胸ですね。しかも、ただ大きいだけではなく、形も美しい。
Right?
時計はありませんでした。
It wasn't?
探し物はこれ？
A confident grin spread across Makoto's face as she pulled out the watch out of her breast pocket. Huh? That was unexpected. Her breast pocket was, after all, where we had expected the watch to be in the first place.
いくらみちるちゃん相手でも警戒はするよ。兄様？
Michiru muttered her suspicions after gauging my reaction. Are you absolutely sure it wasn't inside her breast pocket?
ええ。あの硬さのものがあれば、取れないまでも気づきます。みちるちゃん、もしこの時計が欲しいなら、私と勝負
I'll play a game!
勝負？
Michiru and I furrowed our brows at her sudden suggestion.
レイ君は時計にこだわってるし、このままじゃみちるちゃんも諦めないでしょ？私も時計を返すつもりはない。お互いにどうしても譲れないものがあるなら、博打で後腐れなしの一本勝負ってこと。私が勝ったら時計をもらえるのですね。私が勝ったらみちるちゃんには。
Wait, Makoto. If you're going to challenge someone, shouldn't it be me? I stepped forward, not wanting Michiru to bear all the responsibility for the situation. But Makoto shook her head from side to side.
それも楽しそうだけど、レイ君とはまだしないよ。
What does that mean? Hello, 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 welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Yet?
レイ君とはもっと遊びたいし。だから、この勝負に私が勝ったら、みちるちゃんはしばらくレイ君には近づかないでね。
That's basically a death sentence for Michiru.
そしたら、レイ君はしばらく私が独占しちゃうんだから。
Both of us siblings were lost for words. If we left Makoto to her own devices, she would eventually cause the kind of problem that could never be undone. Cora told me that, but the word eventually made it sound like I had more time. Hey, I'm doing good. We're just playing more ChronoClock. Just have to be careful of what pops up in her. I'm very appreciative of Still, it only took a few days for her to start causing serious problems. But No, wait. I wouldn't mind if Makoto had me all to herself. Hell, I want her to monopolize me. If she just stayed over at my house, she wouldn't cause problems for anyone else. And if I ended up having some alone time with her...
兄様、鼻が伸びてますよ。
Whoa, is it? Wait, you wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
気配でわかります。その前に鼻が伸びたらピノキオだよね。伸びてるのは鼻の下だよね。兄様に近づくなということですが、しばらくというのはどのくらいの期間ですか？
The jokey music over. Hey, when Michiru seemed to be seriously considering the offer, I tried to speak up.
兄様を口を挟まないでください。
I know. She stole my joke. I did. Thank you for the toy gift. Oh. Oh, I just realized the thing is out of place. Oh, you gotta fix that. Oh. Thank you. You really don't have to do all that, though. I'm just playing silly visual novel. Ooh. Syrups. I just want to show support. Ooh. You're doing great, thank you. Hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Ooh. All the best streamers out there always being the best vibes ever. Ooh. You guys are too nice. You guys are too nice to me. I was half asleep for a good portion. As the alerts wake you up. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I don't know. Wakey, exit Bakey. I thought it was. Oh no! I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. You guys really don't have to do stuff like that, you know? Ew. Butterfly Zapper, best decision of my life. Is it actually, like, does those actually work? I've seen those around, but I'm like, I don't know if those would be, like, actually, like, good or not. Yes? Oh, sorry, big yawn. Oh. But yeah, I just appreciate Syrup's being here. That's all that really matters to me. Is that you guys are just here hanging out with me. Or I can fall asleep to cicadas and noise is very nostalgic. Did you grow up around cicadas? I don't think I've actually ever seen a cicada. in person. I know I asked you to do this, but you don't have to go that far.
いいえ、これは妹としてのプライドの問題です。確かにこの勝負に兄様は関係ありませんね。
Takeda is so annoying.
おっと、みちるちゃんも勝負師だね。
Damn it, you two. Do you really have to keep one-upping each other like that? Kind of. I hear them, but I never saw them, especially in summer. I guess every summer I'd hear them. I've never lived in an area that had cicadas. But it would be easy to fall asleep to them at night, though. I mean, imagine it's good, like, white noise, basically. If that was the case, none of us would survive in this era of social media. Or so I thought. But Michiru can't use social media to begin with. Makoto is pretty old-fashioned, too. So she probably doesn't bother with it either. It's kind of calming at night. It fits right into the nighttime. Did you both crawl out of some goddamn cave or something? Stop. You mustn't fight over me.
レイ君、意外と余裕ある
I
よね。
never see them, just hear them, while they just keep going and going. That they do, from what I know. They just always make noise. They can be annoying, but they only make sound in the daytime. Well, I just hate it when the atmosphere gets awkward.
それで、城之内さん。先ほどのしばらくというのはどの程度の期間ですか？
I'm sitting crisscross now. Michiru ignored me. Kinda depressing. Actually got a video of a cicada up close. It looks like it was dancing, so I added the Never Gonna Give You Up song to the video. Oh, goodness. Alright, well, I'm pretty tired, so good night. I'll watch the rest later. Good night! Good night, good night. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a good sleep.
そうだな。夏休みいっぱいまでにしておこうか。
It's just summer break, kids. I went to go do something. I'm back. Are the Higurashis not clean?
夏休みまでではなく、夏休みの終わりまでですか。
I'm number one now.
みちるちゃんが勝てば何の問題ないことだよ。
In response to Makoto's confidence, I could see Michiru swallowing the lump in her throat.
そうですね。では、私が勝ったら時計の
Michiru, I don't think you can decide that.
する権利もいただきます。
Guys, volleyball is definitely. What? What do you mean?
よかろう。
Huh. Wait, I thought you said this match was of no direct concern to me. Why am I one of the prizes now?
そんな昔のことは覚えていません。
Oh, Christ, you and your contradictions. What kind of fucking idiot dragged you into this anyway?
多分、レイ君だよ。
No shit! Michiru was, after all, the big guns for me, my nuclear option, to be used only as an absolute last resort.
それでは、何で勝負します？
I always knew you were having some fun, even that's the way. I'm from the ocean, though. I come from the seas. How am I supposed to be heaven sent if I'm a sea creature?
鬼ごっこにしよう。
Game of tag? Makoto wore the kind of mischievous smile you normally see from a child.
私が城之内さんに触ればいいのですね。うん。ただ、
Sea
私が
heaven?
全力で逃げたら勝負にならないし。
She's a siren?
時間制限は1分で。
I would have a sea pancake, no siren. Makoto glanced around, thinking of a suitable area.
そうだね。教室と同じくらいの広さしか私は動かないことにするよ。たったそれだけ？
Michiru sounded surprised. She's a pancake siren? And the feeling was mutual. In a space that small, Michiru could certainly chase Makoto, even if she had to rely on hearing and sense of smell. And besides that, no matter how athletic Makoto was, if all Michiru had to do was lay one finger on her, I doubted there would be much chance of her losing. If Makoto was giving Michiru a handicap on account of her blindness, then that overconfidence would be her undoing. 1 minute, right? Before Makoto could change the rules, I took out my watch and looked at the second hand. Michiru, there are no obstacles around your feet.
ありがとうございます。
Okay, Coco, we're leaving for the night. Okay! Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a good sleep. Michiru snapped her fingers several times to get a beat on the echo, and a confident smile spread across her face. Makoto, meanwhile, was wearing an amused grin of her own. Fully expecting that grin to disappear in a moment, I signaled the beginning. She's gonna shapeshift into someone else, isn't she? Ready, go! Michiru heard the starting signal and started to move forward, but her foot suddenly stopped before it could touch the ground. And then, as a blind person might normally do, she turned her ear toward Makoto nervously, trying to search for her. Even though Makoto hadn't moved an inch. She's lost. I reflexively blurted out that conclusion. Yeah, I knew it. Right after I signaled the start of the match, Makoto transformed into Misaki. Is that even allowed? Even while I complained, there was nothing I could do. Since there was no person who looked and smelled like Makoto in the area, Michiru had no chance of winning. Even if Michiru caught her, Makoto could just pretend she was Misaki. Furthermore, even if I told Michiru that she disappeared, Makoto could just transform back into her normal self and thus appear before her. If only Michiru could see. No, if she could, then Makoto would have challenged her to a different game. This had nothing to do with her own individual skills. Makoto was just a better player. Makoto, disguised as Misaki, flashed me a V sign with her fingers. Good grief. Oh, what the hell. When Makoto, disguised as Misaki, saw that I wasn't panicking, she tilted her head at me in confusion. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, measure for measure. Makoto, I have a special power to tell you about, though you won't remember me telling you that. Makoto was still wondering what on earth I was talking about. Slipping my hand into my pocket, I let out a sigh. My special power is being able to turn the tables whenever I please. Then I threw the pocket watch to the ground. Okay, so where are we now?
この勝負に私が勝ったら、みちるちゃんはしばらくレイ君には近づかないでね。そしたら、レイ君はしばらく私が独占しちゃうんだから。I
see. So this was 5 minutes ago. At that moment, I took Michiru by the hand.
兄様？あれ？レイ君？どうしたの？
At my unexpected action, both of them turned to face me. I just remembered there's something else I need to do, so let's wrap it up for today. Let's go home, Michiru.
あら、残念ですが。強引な兄様も
My God.
大好きです。
Shut up! Shut up, woman! I were the type to lose interest in something just as quickly as she could gain it. Michiru followed me as soon as I said we were leaving.
へえ、せっかくの勝負だったのに。
I'll be your opponent next time, and I don't intend to lose.
それならいいかな。
Makoto looked conflicted, but ultimately all she could do was nod in agreement.
じゃあね、レイ君、みちるちゃん、また遊ぼうね。
God, I love how she abandoned subtlety. She's the furthest thing from subtle.
昼間、何か時計を使ったな。
Ugh. Let me stretch my leg. Ugh. Ugh. Sorry for all the noise. I'm just trying to get comfy. Ugh. Big stretch. That night, Crow came into my room as I sat around idly, mulling over today's events. Yeah, it was quite a near thing.
その様子では収穫はなさそうだが。
I wouldn't say that. If it was a battle of information, the result hadn't been against me. Even if we didn't win the match, the end result was that I saw what Makoto was planning without risking anything. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have good sleep. I also learned that Makoto had a penchant for gambling. More than the act of gambling itself, she probably liked him more for the tension of the moment. That reminds me, when I went on that date with Makoto, the movie we saw had something to do with gambling. Quick what? What?
何を勝手に納得しておるのだ?
Don't worry about it. Turning back time is quite a powerful ability, but it isn't all that flexible either. Straightening my posture, I turned to face Crow.
失礼な。お主が望むような耳っちい力ではないというだけではないか。
It still has its uses for me. Then, I proceeded to summarize everything that had happened today to Crow. Talking to myself as always, you could say.
いっそ、今から誠の家に行って、寝ているところから奪ってきたらどうだ?
Hey now. Are you trying to throw me into a jungle where Sylvester Stallone and the Predator are waiting to ambush me?
何の話をしておる? このアホ.
Don't you just love it when a woman calls you a cretin? Watch or no watch, if I can't do it, I can't do it. At that moment, my phone went off with a new text received.
レイ君、明日デートしない?
Peeking at my phone's display over my shoulder as always, Crow made a strange sort of exclamation. What do you think this means?
そのままだろ.
Well, it seems that Makoto likes me, but she doesn't really think of it as love just yet.
それが分かってる.
Oh no, I don't have a conversation with a woman. Yeah, I suppose so. I was a bit concerned about the invitation, but obsessing over her watch all the time wasn't healthy. I had a hunch I could still just hang out with her like I always did. The sooner I could actually get to confess to her, the better. Let me just put that up just in case. The next day, I was in a daze, as if my body had awakened but my brain was still asleep. This wasn't me waking up on my own either. Michiru was probably in my room.
Oi.
Crow? Huh? I considered just ignoring the presence and sleeping until my alarm went off, but something didn't seem right. Oh, okay, it's just Crow. I cracked open my eyes to see Crow casually floating in the air before me. What is it?
Ohayo.
Oh god. Oh, she's here! Huh? Hearing a voice that couldn't have possibly been there, I immediately leapt out of bed. Oh, okay, she's dressed. I thought she was now gonna be clothed! What are you doing here?
いや、レイ君と一緒に投稿しようと思ったから、ついでに起こしてあげようかなって。
Thanks?
どういたしまして。ようやく起きたか。
Bonnie manifesting? I'm not! With Makoto's jovial voice came a thoroughly displeased voice as well. It seemed that Crow had tried to wake me up upon realizing Makoto had broken into the house. I raised up a hand in a gesture that wouldn't seem out of place from Makoto's perspective, but which was actually directed at Crow, as a sort of impromptu thanks, I guess. At this point, I couldn't be too surprised at anything Makoto did.
面白かったから、もうちょっと寝顔を見ていたかったんだけどな。
Oh my god.
意外と寝顔は可愛いね。
Okay, Makoto. What time is it? I asked myself while fumbling around for the phone I'd left beside my pillow.
6時ちょっと過ぎくらいかな。
Do you always wake up early in the morning, Makoto?
そうだね。うちは日の出くらいには人が起き出してるよ。
Crack of dawn. Oh, your underlings.
そうそう。朝から掃除したりしてるの。
So when did she get on Michiru's timing? I don't know, man. Sounded like those guys had it rough. But what really felt weird to me was the fact that I was talking to Makoto in my own room at this hour. It wouldn't have been that weird if it were Michiru or Didi, and even Miu wouldn't have been that out of place here, since she was Michiru's close friend. Makoto, on the other hand, was just another pretty face from my class. I was still in my pajamas, and if I really wanted to, I could have pushed Makoto. Wow! Wow! Right now! No, bad! Bad! Spray bottle! Spray bottle! Spray bottle! The two of us looked at each other without saying anything. Hi, Bonnie, this game is cute art. It does have very cute art! But hello, welcome in! Hope you're having a good day. It was a quiet morning, absent even of the cries of cicadas. I was ready in the moment! I reached out to touch Makoto's cheek without a single thought in mind. Oh! Oh, okay, this is okay, I think. She's still clothed. Should I be worried? At first I thought it said Chronobox, which is only available in Japan, so I was confused. But this one's kind of cute. It is, but I'm concerned. Makoto's shoulder trembled, but that was her only reaction. She didn't resist or reject me at all. Her skin was soft and smooth. Makoto blushed, staring at me with the slightest hint of suspicion. For a moment, I just watched her reaction. I was starting to get a feeling that Michiru or Didi would bust into the room at any moment. But nothing happened. Huh? Let me just pretend Crow doesn't exist for a minute. Makoto. I called out her name. Makoto cocked her head to the side and gave me the cutest smile I'd ever seen. Alright, Crow, pull up a chair! Crow's in the chair! Makoto closed her eyes. Makoto held the watch in her hand. That was a dead giveaway of how she used it to break in here. I held my breath as I drew closer to her. Makoto, how the fuck? Then I laid my hands on top of hers. Are we gonna kiss her? Are we gonna kiss her? Makoto, relax your muscles for me. No, your fingers. There was no chance I'd be able to take her watch from her when she had such a vice-like grip on it. I couldn't help but laugh at how stupid the situation was. I thought you were asking me to do that. Besides, Makoto, being kissed for the first time isn't gonna make you suddenly feel more like a normal girl. Anyway, I need to change. Could you just wait in the hallway? Or at least just turn your head? You fucking kidding me? I mean, she's got a point! Bro's got a point. Bro's got a point. She has a point! I doubt that situation was anything like this. Please, puppy girl. Well, it's not like I had to take my underwear off anyway, so it wasn't actually a big deal. How could a restriction order? I don't think anyone finds it that interesting to watch a man change, but Makoto watched me like with a big fat grin on her face. She ain't wrong. Might as well go for it. I finished changing without incident, washed my fat face in the bathroom, and then returned to the room. I'm gonna put that up just in case. Okay. Now then, good morning. Did you have breakfast?
もりもり食べてきたよ。
Good. You're a growing girl. As an aside, I noticed that Crow had disappeared from the room. I have to go eat breakfast too, though.
待ってるからゆっくり食べてきてもいいよ。エッチな本とか DVD を探しながら暇つぶししてるから。
Okay, Makoto. I'm just going to have a bit of rice for breakfast, so behave yourself and don't touch anything while I'm gone.
はーい。
Hearing your casual response, I then rushed over to the main building. I stuffed the rice balls and a few sides into my mouth before leaving the house with Makoto.
歩いて登校するの久しぶり。
Oh, goodness. I guess it probably has been a while for you.
あんまり瞬間移動を使いすぎると運動不足になりそうだな。
I hear that a lot of girls worry about their weight a lot.
そっか。
But more importantly, about that let's go on a date text from last night.
そうそうデートしようよ。
You just want to go somewhere and hang out, right?
もっと仲良くなれるといいよね。
Oh, that's right. People could go on dates before they actually got into a relationship, and if they enjoyed it a lot, they could start to seriously consider the idea. Makoto must have remembered what I said. Okay, then how about after school?
学校でイチャイチャしてたらまずいしね。
Whoa. Well. Even after the big surprise she gave me this morning, Makoto seemed to be a little more sensible today. Perhaps the watch's influence came in ebbs and flows. All of our classmates already think that we're flirting too much. They know how close we are and all, anyway.
本当？
It was weird that she hadn't already noticed it by now, but I guess that was just her naivety at play.
そうなんだ。
I'm more surprised you didn't notice that sooner.
いや、だってレイ君が私のことを真剣に異性として見てくれてなさそうだし。
Huh? Then it was my turn to be surprised. What made you think that? Didn't you see how excited I was about watching you get changed on the rooftop?
いやいや、セクハラ発言したり裸を見てはいるけど手は出してこないしさ。さっきもキスしなかったから。
So that's what she meant. Makoto's unpredictable emotions were what made me not want to lay a finger on her to start with, but she'd evidently interpreted that as me not finding her attractive enough. The writers know their audience. They have to explain the concept of a date before going out with someone! Oh my gosh. I will never understand women.
もしかしてレイ君って
No! I'm straight as a pole!
本当に
I'm sure as sure can be.
じゃあキスしてくれる？チュー。
I had a bizarre sort of feeling, almost like when a younger girl in my family had suddenly taken a liking to me. Could I really kiss her? As Makoto's face edged closer to mine, I took a piece out of one of my rice balls and popped it into her mouth instead. Bro has not seen a funky bendy pole before, shaking my head.
もう
How did your first kiss taste?
鮭かな。
We munched on what was left of my breakfast all the way to the station. One brief ride on the monorail later, we were within walking distance of the school. With the salty fragrance of the sea lingering in the air, we casually walked along the usual path. I could smell lingering traces of seaweed and salmon too. Those must have been the rice balls. Summer break's just around the corner, huh?
レイ君はなんか予定とかある？
Nothing in particular. While I was hoping to find a girlfriend and spend my break being crazy in love, I couldn't really say that out loud.
じゃあ海に行こう。あと遊園地、それと縁日も。
I want to do all that stuff too, man. I want to do all that stuff too. I guess that makes 3 new summer break plans decided for me.
はーい、楽しみ。
Oh, she's close. Makoto clung to my arm. Whoa, she's soft. By the way, Makoto, we still have time, so I just want to talk about something. Just promise you won't get mad or run away on me. Ooh, but we went to the beach a couple of days. But I want to go to an amusement park, and I want to go to a festival too. I want to go do that stuff too. Hi, Bonnie. Hello. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day.
Nani?
About that watch you've been using. It really is a dangerous thing to be toying with. Haven't you noticed you've been acting weird?
最近気分はすっきりしてるんだけど。
Sure, we can go. Why not? Yippee! Oh, of course you're gonna be in a good mood if you just do whatever the hell you want. I couldn't help but sigh. In modern Japanese society, where people were forced to read every situation carefully to avoid offending anyone, that kind of freedom would make most people envious. Get on all the fun rides and shit and you can try not to vomit. I don't vomit on roller coasters and stuff. I'm fine. I'm fine. I want you to work hard to be a normal girl, just like before. Even if you screw up, you can always come and cry on my shoulder.
レイ君の期待には応えたくない。
Makoto yelled at me, with the slightest hint of tears forming in her eyes. I rest my case. Really unexpected. I can handle them. By the way, you haven't gotten into any more trouble at night, have you?
レイ君に言われて、夜の見回りも慈善事業活動もお休みしてますとも。
That's good to hear.
嘘だけど。
Hey!
せっかく手に入れた魔法の力がもったいないでしょ。
Hold on, brother started to criticize Japanese society. I like you now. What is ChronoClock anyway? It is a visual novel. It's about basically very basic summary of it. The main character is a guy who finds a pocket watch that used to belong to his grandfather, and he goes out after using that pocket watch and gets hit by a truck. So, obviously he should be dead, but instead of dying, he goes back in time 5 minutes before, and that's because of the clock that he has, the pocket watch. And it gives him the power to go back in time 5 minutes every hour. And that's basic, and he's using it to get a girlfriend. Basically a grand sensor test on this route, though. Good grief. While it was annoying to know I still hadn't gotten through to her yet, the opportunity was presenting itself, so I decided to have a serious discussion with Makoto. And as soon as I made that decision... So the pocket watch has magic, right? Yeah, it's magic. It has like a god living, time goddess living in it. Misaki, who was apparently walking to school along the same route, showed up and greeted us. How has your opinion of me really sunk that low? There's more pocket watch too. Yes, this is true. This girl right here, Makoto, the one with the reddish brown hair, with the gold accessories. She found a pocket watch that allows her to teleport and change it to other people's appearances. You know, I kind of forgot Misaki existed, yeah! This game ticks all the boxes for mid-2010s visual novel bingo, does it? Misaki's smiling face froze in the middle of her greeting. Makoto and I exchanged glances that both seemed to ask, what's with her? Makoto reminds me of the school days. No! Not school days, no! Time plus, thanks for the chip, yeah. When I saw how close Makoto's face was, I remembered that she was still holding onto my arm. What Would you rather we did so at night?
夕方はそういうことじゃない
Misaki did her usual furious in place marching on the ground.
あなたたちはどうして私を
Maybe it's for the best I've never gotten exposed to school days. Probably. I don't know if I'd ever play it myself since I've seen what all the endings are. But...
多分運命に導かれてるんだよ
After all, you were the one who said it first. Misaki was practically having an aneurysm at our innocuous smiles. You don't freak out when you see Michiru holding onto my arm. It's the same thing.
あれは妹でしょ
Oh, so she wants to make it a room, say no more! She may be my sister, but do you think that the way she clings to her own brother and is worse than what Makoto's doing right now? Oh, whoa! I pressed the wrong button. Whoa, what happened? I don't think I can go back. I can almost see the question marks floating around Misaki's head.
とにかく今回は美咲ちゃんは
Damn, Misaki tweaked out trying to process that! Will there be a next time?
さ
Can't you check the history of the dialogue or go back? No? Question mark? It doesn't even show me the keys that they use for stuff in this game. Oh, oh! Oh, that worked. Okay. Yeah, I suppose Michiru's relationship with you isn't all that healthy. Anyway, it's a rare sight to run into you this early in the morning, Misaki. Just a little early morning practice. No, never mind, it's nothing. More importantly, Makoto, could you let go? The warmth of another person makes me feel comfortable and relaxed. Makoto said those words absent-mindedly, showing no signs of letting go. Huh, wait. Are you two really dating? I've been getting that question a lot lately. Not yet. Not yet? Huh? What does that mean? Okay, there we go. Now we're caught up. You know, usually someone who's stuttering in a panic still has the capacity to form a complete sentence. I can't even tell what you're trying to say.
言いたいことはなんとなくわかるけど
Most relatable line ever, Makoto! Keyword yet! True. She was probably trying to say something like, are you trying to insinuate that I like this freaking guy right here? I was well aware that Misaki had a soft spot for me. Unlike others, her brand of affection was pretty direct, and none too easy for her to conceal.
私と先輩のことは関係ないんです。いや、関係はあるのよ。あってほしいの。別に無視してるわけでもないし、無視してるわけでもないから。
Forming a complete sentence? Ray expects too much out of Misaki.
だからって誤解されても困るというか。やめて。何よその目は。やらしい目で見ないで。
She is tweaking out right now. We were only surprised she came out and admitted it, though. As usual, Misaki's one woman, self-inflicted comeuppances were hugely entertaining.
とにかく恋人じゃないならそんなおっぱいが当たるようなつぎ方はダメよ。
Snuggling those bazongas!
それにおっぱいなら
Oh my god, Misaki!
いやいや、さすがにおっぱいは私の方が大きい。
Why are they comparing boob sizes now?
あと1年あれば私だって90の大台に。
Gabagools, if you will. You guys, early morning's all well and good since no one else is around. But when we get to school, can you not just yell about nothing but breasts? As the one guy here, I was the most uncomfortable. Also, given her height, if Misaki really did break 90 centimeters, wouldn't that be illegal? Well, even if it were illegal, it's not like I'd care. Bonnie, this is just something young women do to compete to get a man. I'm okay, I guess. I don't... Okay.
おっと、そうだね。
Makoto, with what was left of her reason, finally decided to stop clinging to my arm. Yeah, exactly. Misaki should know not to fight losing battles. Oh wait, it's Misaki! I'd really been close to turning back time to steer clear of this conflict, but Makoto letting go made me feel relieved. Anyway, just let me know if you do break 90 centimeters, Misaki.
どういう話のまとめ方をしてるのよ、あんたは。
She shot me a death glare. I'm joking. Come on, you two. Let's get going before people start staring at us.
何よ、先輩風吹かせちゃって。
Even while griping about it, Misaki moved to my other side with visible glee. She really is just like a puppy, the little rascal. Makoto watched us silently. I couldn't read her mind or anything, but just hoped she wouldn't do anything too crazy until after school. Don't let your jealousy show, woman! After all that, it was safe to say that Makoto herself didn't do anything too crazy. And then, oh god. What? What was that? Lunch break. The noise from the bustling hallway was the same as usual, but I found myself sensing something that wasn't.
なんかあったか?
Suji, sitting beside me, followed my gaze and peered out into the hallway. I couldn't tell what was going on from where I was sitting. Besides, I had better things to do than go see what it was.
わほーい、何かありますね。
What is that noise she made? Didi cheerfully ran out of the classroom. Guess she didn't have anything better to do.
サンセイ、ジュース買いに行かないか?
Are you coming with me?
いや、行くなら俺の分を買ってきてくれ。
Get your own. Glancing around, I noticed Makoto wasn't in the classroom either. Well, whatever. Opening my lunchbox, I put my hands together in the usual pre-meal time to eat ritual. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm illiterate today. And then began to dig in. Munch munch. As I ate, I heard mumblings from the hallway from the other students. Something to do with broken glass. Ritual. Evidently, someone had broken a window somewhere. The news seemed to be spreading like wildfire, with everyone texting everyone else about it. Ritual! I see. I found it interesting to listen in on their conversations, but it wasn't anything worth getting too worried about. I just hoped that no one was hurt. Come to think of it, those slots were kind of similar to ones I had back when Makoto dropped her lunchbox. Talk about a throwback. It was at that moment Didi returned to the classroom. Didi.
はい。
Where's the broken window? Where's the window that was broken? Oh my god. I keep reading things out of order! I feel dyslexic!
自動販売機の近くの廊下のですね。
Was it somebody's stray baseball or something that broke it?
いえ、椅子
A chair? Huh? A chair? I could hardly believe it, but Didi nodded in affirmation.
はい。椅子で叩いて割ったのだそうで。
What the heck? That's unexpected.
事故じゃないのか?
That's our dyslexic pancake. Ooh. Oh. Suji spoke up as well, evidently just as surprised as me. Misaki! What the fuck is she doing?
美咲さんがやったみたいで。
Huh? I was dumbfounded after hearing that. Misaki? Smashing a window with a chair?
私も実際に目にしたのではなく、ヤジウムさんのトークを聞いただけなのですが。
Misaki's the last person I could imagine doing something like that, though. I put down my chopsticks and took out my phone to call Michiru. After all, she was Misaki's classmate.
はい、沢渡みちるです。
Michiru, it's me.
あ、兄様。
Misaki gets kicked one time and she crashes out. Where's her emotional stability? Do you think that girl has any? Like, look at her and tell me. You think that woman has any stability in her? Man, you're as sharp as ever.
というより、こちらのクラスが渦中なもので。
Fair point. Really now? Maybe the first year classrooms were a lot more I don't know. Than ours by nature.
美咲さんは4時間
I can fix her.
今までずっと私はみゆさんと一緒に教室にいました。
So then it must be an understanding. Didi and Chuji, who were listening in, seemed visibly relieved to hear that. But Michiru's voice was of utmost seriousness.
そのはずなのですが、ガラスを割ったのは
It was Makoto! It was Makoto! She fucking transformed into Misaki! Maybe she's mastered the clone jutsu. I tried to crack a joke, but it was met with a deadly silence. A chill ran up my spine. I glanced around the classroom again. Makoto wasn't there. Then I gazed back up at the clock hanging above the blackboard. Damn it, it had already been more than 5 minutes by now.
兄様。
She's causing a ruckus!
さんずい
In spite of being called for by other people, both in person and over the phone, I was in some kind of trance.
ご主人様、大丈夫ですか?
Didi leaned in to look at my face. But I could neither make make the words come out of my mouth, nor muster any strength to move. I only knew one thing. Makoto had just caused the kind of problem that could never be undone. You gotta get that watch now! After school, ultimately, Makoto never returned to class once lunch was over. Everyone clued into her absence during 5th period, and then, during final homeroom, the teacher informed us that she'd gone home early owing to sickness.
ご主人様。
Didi came right over to me after homeroom ended. What is it?
美咲さんとトークしに行くんですけど、ご主人様も一緒に行きますか? お嬢様やみゆさんも一緒ですが。
Sorry, I have something else I need to take care of.
それは残念です。
Didi left, not bothering to grill me further about why I had to turn her offer down. I'd wanted to go and console Misaki with the knowledge that someone had been impersonating her, but her alibi was solid, so she would probably be fine. More importantly, I need to find Makoto. Yeah, where is she? I headed toward the school gate. I'd already texted and called Makoto's phone several times with no response. I also called her family, pretending that I was calling on behalf of the school, but they told me she wasn't there. So that just leaves somewhere outdoors then. With no lead to go on, I had to search the entire city from end to end. That was gonna be a lot of ground to cover. First, I stopped by the Central Park, but she wasn't there. Then I headed north towards a shopping district, glancing inside the restaurants and cafes where she probably lay low for a while, but I still found no trace of her. Then, westward bound, walking around the town and counterclockwise. Returning south to double-check the school and beach nearby, Makoto was still nowhere to be found. Is she at your house? She's at his house, isn't she? Good grief. With nowhere else to go, I idly paced around the monorail station which lay closest to her house. The only option left was to wait for her at the station in case she took the monorail home. After all, actually waiting in front of her house would be a death wish. She walked home or ended up just teleporting from somewhere, then I've been running around for nothing. The monorail stopped at its usual fixed intervals like clockwork, and I observed every last person who got off each time. Aside from the sun sinking in the horizon, nothing changed with each new train that stopped and departed. Watching the same scene play out ad infinitum. Infinitum? Felt like I was experiencing perpetual deja vu. I feel one step closer to Nirvana right now.
お主の煩悩がこの程度で払われるわけなかろう。
Crow suddenly appeared, exiting one of the monorail cars that pulls into the station. Oh, were you on that train?
何度も見かける妙な人間がいるなと思えば、一体何をしておるのだ？
Oh, I'm looking for Makoto.
それならすれ違ったな。あの女子、なぜかずっとモノレールに乗っておったぞ。
Huh? My eyes went wide at Crow's words as the realization hit me. QC detected. Hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. As long as I can see Crow's legs, I'm already in Nirvana. That's right. Inside the monorail car was my blind spot. Since it ran on a loop all day, the car had air conditioning, and she wouldn't stand out amongst the throngs of people getting on and off at each station. She could lay low in there all day if she wanted to. If I hadn't seen her, does that mean she's still riding the train?
いや、少し前に別の駅で降りた。
She got off? So she still isn't going home.
行き先はおそらく中央公園だ。
Then I really must have just missed her.
お主と誠はどうも縁がないのかもしれんぞ。
Nah, I'd say the opposite. I left at Crow's evaluation of the situation. I wouldn't have been able to find Makoto at all if I hadn't run into you. I'm sure things will work out between us somehow.
前向きだな。
And besides, the way things are right now, I have to confront her directly. It was perfect timing for me to run into Crow here. Just like it was fated to happen. Crow, if you don't mind, I could use a little help from you.
何をするつもりだ？
In response to Crow's question, I pulled something out of my pocket. It was a coin. Just a spot of gambling. Gambling! I love gambling! Yeah, let's go gambling! By the time I returned to Central Park, the world was awash with the red glow of sunset. The workers of the day were returning to the peace and comfort of home, while the night people were steeling themselves for the challenges to follow. If it was winter, night would have started long ago, but right now, it was summer's twilight, the hour of reckoning. Oh, the gacha came in with me is excited. Yeah, right. Still, this water line between night and day was a time where encountering other people out here was a rarity. No wonder it was so easy to spot Makoto, who was standing idly about in the park. She looked so sad. Makoto. Makoto jumped when I called out to her name. She was afraid. I expected her to run away if I said something careless, so I remained silent for a moment. I took the pocket watch in my hand so I could immediately rewind time if anything went seriously awry. And Makoto's own pocket watch was clenched in her own hand. I realized we were both doing the same thing. Jeez. Having this kind of escape route tempted us both with the possibility of running away. I'll say this first. I'm not angry, and I didn't come here to blame you.
怒ってないの？
No. In fact, even if someone else is angry at you, I'll always be your ally. I spoke reassuringly to prevent her from running away, but I certainly wasn't lying either.
どうして？
Oh. She's having an edgy moment. Makoto clenched the watch in her fist, hung her head, and muttered quietly under her breath.
どうして私あんなことしちゃったんだろう。美咲ちゃんの姿で騒ぎを起こしたら、レイ君が美咲ちゃんを避けてくれるんじゃないかって思って、ちょっと考えただけで、別に本当にそんなことするつもりもなかったのに。
It's the watch!
気づいたら窓が割れてて、
Valid crush out. I understand. I quietly nodded. Makoto still had some of her reasonable side intact today. As a result, Makoto had realized what she'd done, and gaining awareness of her own strange behavior had left her terribly distraught and confused. Oh no, she's becoming a yandere. PC can go into bed. Okay, thank you for stopping by. Hope you have good sleep. Or perhaps she was terrified because she couldn't control herself. I should have tried to save you sooner, Makoto.
助ける
Makoto, that watch is the cause of all of this.
分かってる分かってるの分かってるのに分かってるはずなのに
Makoto was wearing a facial expression which seemed to imply she had no understanding of the words which were coming out of her mouth. If she did understand, and just managed to dispose of the watch, her problem would have been solved a long time ago. This was the price that came with that watch. Or rather, it was a sort of self-defense mechanism built into the watch, allowing it to take a human being as its host. No matter how much I tried to convince her, I knew she wouldn't budge, and that eventually I'd have to take the watch away from her one way or another.
どうして
It's like Frodo with the ring too! Her expression blank, Makoto repeated that question to herself. It was the watch's influence that made her smash that window. She impulsively thought of a crime to commit, and immediately went and acted on that impulse. But that wasn't the kind of why Makoto was asking herself. Why did she smash that window while masquerading as Misaki? Why did she try to drive a wedge between me and Misaki? It was jealousy, wasn't it?
嫉妬
It'd be embarrassing for me to explain it myself. I think you can figure it out on your own. Oh. Her eyes are glowing! Oh god. Oh no! What's happening? The corner of Makoto's mouth curled into a grin.
そっかこれが嫉妬なんだ
Jarvis, rewind the Bonnie tapes.
そうレイ君が私じゃない女子と一緒にいると
Oh, she's going crazy,
チクチクす
crazy.
るの
But basically, I don't know where you were left off at, but she impersonated Misaki, breaking a window because she was jealous of Misaki talking to Rei. And now she's having a crisis over it.
そっかうん悪くない
We gotta get that watch away from her. Makoto giggled. She was giving off serious yandere vibes. Though this was a slightly different kettle of fish from that. Perhaps even the thing inside Makoto's pocket watch misunderstood her on this point. Makoto was honest to a fault. One time, mind you. Even when comparing her to Miyu, Makoto cannot be beaten in terms of sheer, straightforward honesty. So once she started feeling the side effects of the watch, with that pressure weighing on her like that, Makoto ended up feeling jealousy for the first time, by way of Michiru and Misaki. It must have been confusing for her to feel that emotion for the first time.
さて
Crow floated down from the sky, having been lying in wait all this time. Makoto, if you're feeling any better, do you want to play a game with me?
勝負
We can settle all of this, regret-free, with a little spot of gambling. Both of us just need to wager something we never want to give up.
私がかけるのはこの時計
Of course.
じゃあレイ君は
Makoto seemed to be taking the bait. I'll bet my own watch.
まったくやっぱりそれも何かの魔法の力があるんだ
I figured you'd pick up on that.
レイ君が妙に時計のことに詳しかったしそっくりなデザインだしそのくらいは想像つくよ
Hold on, I was crashing out. I'm not on. I'm not on. Hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. It's been good. Makoto grinned. She was being rather ostentatious in her curiosity about my own watch.
あと、そっちは変身とか瞬間移動とかじゃなさそうだよね。レイ君は気が回るから心を読む力とかかなとも思ったんだけど、そういう感じでもないし、なんだろ。
You'll find out when you win. I took out the coin that I had prepared. Is this a good enough game for you?
コイントス？
You've got two choices. Heads or tails. Pretty straightforward, right?
二択ならサイコロの超反博打の方がいいんだけど、まあいいや。
Makoto gave me another gentle smile.
コインを用意したのはレイ君なんだから、投げるのは私でいいよね。
I wouldn't try to rig things against you or anything.
よく言う。
Crow. Crow sounded exasperated, but naturally, I gave her no response. When I handed the coin over to Makoto, she carefully examined it.
細工はないね。普通のコインだ。ところで、ちょっとだけルールを変えてもいい？
Hmm? I cocked my head to the side at her unexpected question.
大丈夫。
Or
二択
suggestion.
ってところに変わりはないから。
What kind of rule did you have in mind?
このコインを指で弾くところまでは一緒で、それを私が左右の手のどちらかで握るから、レイ君はコインの入ってる手を当てるの。
Oh, I've seen that in manga before.
ただの運任せよりは、こっちの方が勝負になると思うんだよね。
I wondered what to do next. I probably would have a slightly better chance of winning this way, compared to just relying on luck. But thinking back to the showdown with Michiru made me wonder if she was planning to pull another trick on me. The conventional trick would be to have a second coin hidden, so she could just hold one in each hand and show me the one I didn't pick. But she wouldn't have had time to prepare that trick beforehand.
どうする？
At Crow's mumbling, I turned my gaze to her. Even if Makoto was intending to cheat on me, I'd been intending to cheat on her all along myself, so I made up my mind. Alright, that's fine with me.
じゃあ、勝負といきますか。
Without a hint of nervousness in her voice, Makoto flipped the coin into the air with her finger. The coin traced a beautiful arc through the air, rotating in front of Makoto's face and then falling back towards Earth. Makoto's right and left hands crossed over each other in the air, and then she grinned at me.
さあ、どうぞ。
Right.
あ、即答だね。
Makoto was surprised at my complete lack of hesitation. Well, actually, I didn't see which hand you grabbed the coin with at all.
そう。残念。
Makoto opened both hands. In her left hand, there lay the coin. I promptly hurled my pocket watch against the ground. It's left! The corner of Makoto's mouth curled into a grin.
そっか。これがずっとなんだ。
Heads and Tails? Bioshock Infinite reference? 5 minutes ago. Once again, I was witnessing Makoto becoming aware of the true nature of her feelings.
さっきの勝負で片付いていれば面倒はなかったのだがな。
I suppose so. While watching Makoto, I silently agreed with Crow's words. From that point on, I challenged Makoto to another game without changing the flow of the conversation very much from last time.
二択ならサイコロの超反博打の方がいいんだけど、まあいいや。
The same conversation from before just repeated itself. That said, returning to the past didn't give any guarantee that Makoto would grab the coin with the same hand as last time. Even the smallest change to the past can result in a very different future. Which meant, my method of cheating in this game, where I would ordinarily have a 50-50 chance of winning, was simply playing twice over. All things considered, I now had a 75% chance of winning. Of course, I wondered what I would do if the remaining 25% turned against me.
じゃあ、勝負といきますか。
Just like that, just like last time, Makoto flipped the coin into the air. Then, with a kind of agility my eyes couldn't keep up with, she grabbed the coin with one of her hands.
さあ、どうぞ。
Give me a second to think. It was this point where I changed the flow of the conversation.
別にいいけど、考えてどうにかなることでもないと思うよ。
We're playing a serious game here. I need to think about it, so I can be serious about my final choice.
そうかな。
I convinced Makoto to wait a little bit.
さて。
Crow moved closer to Makoto, just as we'd planned. Then she brought her face right up to Makoto's hands, one after another, to check them. This was an airtight, 100% guaranteed way of knowing the outcome. Instead of using the watch to trick her, this time I used Crow. Since Crow's body never interacted with the physical substance of this world, it was easy for her to look directly at the coin in Makoto's hand.
ふむ。
Crow stuck her head straight through each of Makoto's hands, then floated back up into the sky above us.
今回も左だ。念のため右も確認したが空だな。
Alright. I replied to Crow with a couple of words that wouldn't sound strange to Makoto, even if she overheard them. Just as I suspected, Makoto wouldn't have come prepared with another coin exactly like the one I gave her. Left.
左でいいの？
Makoto casually asked me to confirm my answer. If I didn't know any better, that would have made me hesitate, but since I already knew the result, I wasn't fazed at all. Yeah, I choose the left. Do me a favor though, and open your right hand.
Eh?
If the coin isn't in your right hand, then I win. A perturbed look flashed across Makoto's face. This was my way of ensuring she wouldn't cheat by using sleight of hand to transfer the coin to her other hand as she opened her left.
本当に左？
I'm not going back on my answer.
しょうがないか。
Makoto resignedly opened her right hand. The coin was there. Huh? Crow and I both exclaimed in surprise. I instinctively glanced at Crow, but she furrowed her brow and shook her head.
ありえん。何か小細工がされたのでなければな。
Oh, that reminds me! I haven't done that yet. Hold on. I can do my free 10! I can send out the free 10 since it's a new month. There we go. Now there's 10 more. Money making it rain. How magnanimous. Seeing that reminded me, so I figured I should just use it now before I forget again. But how did Makoto trick us? How did she trick us? Man. I'll wait until the alerts are over before continuing to read. Big stretch. Hungry, but it's 3 a.m. and I don't want to wake my parents up. Maybe she has 2 coins? But I don't think she does. I don't think she has it. Oh my goodness, sorry. I mean, she's looking. Yeah. I think you should teleport to the coin. Can she do that? I think the alert stopped. Okay. If Crow isn't lying, then there was no room for doubt that Makoto must have cheated somehow. But it was already too late to be wondering how she did it.
私の勝ちだね。
Makoto quietly declared victory. I lost. Losing a game that I thought I couldn't possibly lose had left me dumbfounded. Makoto stared at me. She was probably thinking, I wonder if he will really give me that watch. Crow stared at me too, as if she had something she wanted to tell me. Good grief. That's that then. I'm definitely no liar. I held out the watch, and Makoto took it. The two watches. Then, Makoto's gaze swept over the scenery, finally stopping where Crow was floating.
やっぱりいたんだ。
You realized that too?
レイ君の視線がたまに何もないところで止まってたからね。まさかこんなエッチな格好の女の子がいるなんて思わなかったけど。真っ先に我が輩の姿にケチをつけるとは。お主ら人間は誰もが失礼だな。喋った。おい。あなたは誰？我が輩は時の神。その時計の精霊にして管理者。クロノスなり。
Crow introduced herself with the same line she once said to me. There was now no room for doubt that the ownership of Crow's watch had transferred from me to Makoto.
クロちゃんか。だから、どうしてクロノスと呼ばんのだ。
Hadn't I seen this deadpan and second banana routine somewhere? I was frozen where I stood. Now what was I supposed to do? I was so certain the win would be mine. I hadn't even given any consideration to what would happen if I lost. But even then, my brain was desperately trying to find a solution.
時計の管理者か。それっぽいといえば、それっぽいけど。
Makoto sounded only mildly impressed by Crow's pompous introduction.
まったく、まさかこんなことになるとはな。
Crow gave me a glare of disappointment.
おさらばだな、ご主人。勝負に負けたショックで、今日はこれ以上は遊べないかな。じゃあね、レイ君。バイバイ。
And just like that, Makoto vanished by way of teleportation. Lesson learned. Do not gamble. Learn from my own example, because at that moment, I had nothing left. Damn, what's he gonna do now? What's gonna happen now? What happened? Gambling isn't bad. He quit before he made it big. After school, I went right home earlier than usual and crawled into bed while the day was still young. I'm fucked. Losing the watch was one thing, but more than that, having Crow around was too quiet for comfort. Bro was not the 1% of gamblers! Nothing else in my life had changed. I went to school, attended classes, hung out with friends, and then went home. Every day played out predictably as ever, in accordance with the movements of the hands of time. Being able to rewind time was a gift that had been dropped into my lap by pure happenstance. Having Crow in my life went hand in hand with that as well. So it wasn't like I actually lost anything. No. I shook my head. Making excuses for myself was pointless. The watch wasn't a huge concern, but I had also lost Makoto. Up until now, I had been forced to stay away from her. If I got too close to her, that would just give impetus to her uncontrollable emotions, but there was also always the danger she'd lash out, like she did with Misaki. The most dangerous of all was entertaining the idea of trying to speak to another girl. I wanted to consult Miyu about the problem, but if Makoto happened to see us talking, or even had the slightest suspicion that I'd been speaking to another girl, there was no telling what she would do. So right now, there was peace in my life at school. But on the other hand, I had been hearing rumors about occurrences throughout the city which were undoubtedly Makoto's handiwork. A girl with a fox mask. Violence in the streets. It was like a modern-day period drama. She'd become a living urban legend. And it wasn't just about the bad dudes spreading rumors about her exploits. This mysterious girl had even become the subject of gossip among other students at school. The way things were going, I expected Makoto would end up on the national news sometime soon. Moping about this isn't gonna help, though. I wasn't really moping about it. I just had no idea what in the name of hell I could possibly do about any of this. Her powers of transformation and teleportation had made her hard enough to beat. Now she'd gotten hold of Crow's time-rewinding abilities. I didn't stand a ghost of a chance to coin a phrase. What? When I had that ability myself, it seemed like such a trivial thing. But now that it was in another's hands, I discovered the hard way just how powerful it really was. Even just 5 minutes of time travel can make all the difference. If nothing else, it renders on the idea of having to rely on luck completely moot? And the thought of being forced to relive a moment of my own life without even realizing it was kind of terrifying. But I wasn't agonizing over it. Rather, I was mulling it over. Since there was still one thing I had left to gamble on, I found myself spacing out a little, as I wondered how exactly to go about doing that. Well, how are you going to do that, Ray? Ah, the clouds. A few more days passed. Should I put this up? After school had let out, I naturally found myself loitering on the school rooftop. Michida was getting seriously sick of me ignoring her, so she started following me around and barging into my room randomly. So going back home was out of the question, too. Oh, Christ. I wasn't that upset, but even I couldn't help but mutter oaths of complaint. Oh my goodness. Somewhere nearby, I could hear the sound of someone playing the violin. I never thought we had a club for such an elegant hobby like that, and whoever was playing wasn't bad at all either. But it was still hot out here.
暇そうだな、ご主人。
Yo, Crow. I was a bit surprised by this unexpected quest, but I was happy to see her. Hey, wait. I'm not your master anymore, am I?
そういえばそうだったな。
But is it alright for you to visit me like this?
アホ。時計に所有権があったとしても、我が輩は人間ごときに束縛される存在ではない。
Honestly, that complete freedom of yours just doesn't seem right. She wasn't making herself useful to anyone, not even her new master. But anyway, since you're here, I was wondering if you'd be able to convince Makoto to stop what she's doing.
無茶を言うな。あの女子は我が輩を説明書か何かだと思ってる程度だぞ。
Given that response, I think I have a good idea of how she treats you.
我が輩の話など耳を素通りだ。ああなると手のつけようがない。我が輩にお主のことを話せとせがむし、そんな姿で誘惑しているのかと怒るし。あれは子供だな。
Well, I guess she doesn't appreciate your beauty like I do, since she's the same gender. I appreciate her beauty! I appreciate her beauty! I think she's very beautiful. Given how Makoto was old-fashioned in a certain way, maybe she didn't take too kindly to someone so provocative looking like Crow. You aren't young today yet, bunny!
そして困ったことに
I appreciate her!
時計を海に投げ捨てるとも言われておる。
Would that be a problem?
我が輩は自由とはいえ、時計を中心にしたある程度の範囲でしか動けない。
Keyword yet. Crow spoke disdainfully.
海中見物も楽しいだろうが、我が輩は人の営みを見ている方が好みなのだ。
I like women. What can I say? Well, even if you can't be my ally anymore, I'll settle for not being your enemy either.
お主こそ我が輩を失ったのだから、もう少し危機感を持つべきであろ
Why?
う。なんでとはなんだ。
Crow looked at me incredulously. Well, when it comes to that watch, I just know I screwed up pretty bad. I mean, it's not like I'm some protagonist in a book or a TV show who only finds the answer to his problems in his past, or suddenly has a miracle dropped into his lap or something.
もしや諦めてふぬけているのか？
She's calling him a chicken. No, not at all. Not like I could control what she thought about me. But regardless, that was the conclusion I had come to after mulling over the problem these past few days. Talking to myself as always, indeed. In the end, nothing in my life has really changed. Of course, it'd be convenient if I still had the ability to turn back time, but I can solve the problems in my life even without that. I won't give up just because I failed once. Humanity is made to endure hardships like that. That's the way it is. So, I think it's a shame that I've lost that watch, but I don't care anymore. And that's that. That said, I have been a little lonely without you, Crow. At the end, how I mentioned how important Crow was to me for the first time. If I wasn't so careless, I would have kept that part to myself.
おお、我が輩がいなくて寂しいのか。
Don't focus on that. Don't just focus on that. I made an important point back there. Crow's face was expressionless.
お主、もしかして時計がない方がまともなのではないか？
I'm just trying to live the way Miyu does. That's right. If not for my experience with Miyu and Shuji at the beginning of the summer, my recent misfortunes would have been much harder on me. Anyone who looks upon the future understands that any failure encountered is just a stumbling block on the way to success. You said something like that before, didn't you?
なるほど。
This time Crow grinned back at me. I was being completely serious with what I said. In fact, not having her watch anymore means this might be my last and my greatest chance to take down Makoto.
ん？普通は逆ではないのか。
No, when it comes to negotiations, one party having too much wealth or power is a disadvantage. I remembered a bit of wisdom that both my father and grandfather had told me, which applied equally to running a business and running a country. I had hoped I wouldn't need this particular pearl of wisdom until I was older. Two parties on equal footing will both attempt to gain whatever advantage they can. If one is much stronger than the other, then the need to struggle for dominance disappears. A rat will fight to the death if it is backed into a corner, so all I can do is give the battle ahead my damnedest level of effort. Of course, since I'm at a big disadvantage, things would be different if Makoto truly intended to take me down, but if someone believes that they cannot lose, they will let their guard down without fail, no matter how careful they may be.
よくわからんが、諦めてはいないわけか。
I'm not enough of a coward to give up on the girl I've fallen in love with.
はは。まあ、告白すらできていないからな。
Exactly. Crow, just tell me one thing.
なんだ？
When we played that game with the coin, why did I lose?
異能の成長。
Huh?
誠が瞬間移動の新しい使い方を覚え。
Oh, she did teleport the coin. A new method. Oh, so you mean she can teleport things other than herself now? In much the same way I kept my time rewinding ability a secret, Makoto had an ace up her sleeve as well.
服が脱げるのはともかく、携帯と財布が置いていかれるのが困るらしくて、訓練したそうだ。今はまだ小さなものしか移動させられないようだが。
I think the clothes are kind of important too. I cracked a joke, but Crow's explanation made sense. That information cleared up a lot of the worries I'd had over the past few days.
で、どうする？
If I can't win against her in a fair fight, or by cheating, I only have one option left. I looked up at the big blue sky with a sly grin. Crow, I need you to pass a message along to Makoto.
果たし合いでもするつもりか？
You're right on the money there.
なんだ、真剣だったのか。
Tell her to meet me in the park at sunset.
それは構わぬが、勝ち目などあるのか?
Not in the slightest. I answered immediately. So I'm going to have to turn the tables on her. And so, the hands of time advanced a few hours more, and evening came again. Oh, she's here. Oh. Why is Crow wearing the mask?
赤い赤い。おー、赤い。夏の夕暮れって私は大好き。暑さで空が燃えてるみたいだし、その先にある楽しい夏の夜がやってくるワクワクもあるしね。
You're going crazy. Makoto had a lilt in her step, almost as if she were dancing. She wore an unshakable smile on her face. She truly thought she was invincible. Looking more evil than before, yeah. Once darkness falls, the city becomes Makoto's own little world. God, I wish crazy women were real! In one hand, she clutched Crow's pocket watch with a vice-like grip, and Crow floated beside her, wearing the fox mask. I've reached the final boss. I wore a crooked smile that belied my true feelings. Crow was adorable enough that I never thought of her as an actual goddess before, but wearing that mask, she looked quite intimidating. I suppose appearances are everything.
ちょっとご無沙汰だったね、レイ君。クロちゃんから果たし合いがしたいって伝言されたんだけど、まだ私とやる気なんだ。
Makoto was full of confidence. It wasn't pride or deceit I saw in her eyes, either. It was indisputable fact that I didn't stand a chance against someone who held as much power as she did.
また勝負してあげてもいいけど、レイ君にかけるものが残ってるのかな。それがないと。
What's he doing? In the middle of the conversation, Makoto's expression suddenly turned grim for no apparent reason.
そんなのダメだよ。
Oh. After a moment, I realized that Makoto had just used her power to turn back time 5 minutes. Evidently, having already heard what I was about to tell her, she refused to believe it and tried to undo it. I see. So this is what time travel looks like to the observer. And so... looks like you just rewound time for a totally pointless reason. More than just a feeling thankful for how she drew her ace too quickly like that, I was surprised. As I thought, Makoto had become so overpowered that she never considered the best way to make use of her newfound time-traveling ability, let alone whether said ability might have a fundamental flaw.
無駄。
Come on now, Makoto. That watch used to be mine, you know. I know what the fundamental flaw in that power is. You can never go back far enough in time to change the workings of someone's heart, especially if their heart is set on something to begin with. Turning back time by 5 minutes, as often as one wished, such was the fundamental flaw in that watch. This will be the second time you hear this explanation, but to me, I haven't explained it yet, so hear me out. You're right. I want to play a game, and these are my weapons. I opened my hand to show her what I had in it. Resting in my palm were 2 dice. We're rolling for numbers. Pretty straightforward, right? We throw the dice and bet on whether the number that shows up is odd or even.
そんなの知ってる。常識だよ。
Maybe from where you come from it is. I didn't know myself, so I had to look it up on the internet. I don't have a dice cup, so just bear with it, and you and I will each throw 1 die.
嫌だよ。
Makoto shouted, her expression a mixture of impatience and anger. I ignored her and continued my explanation. This particular part was of the greatest importance. If I win, then you will hand over Crow's watch to me, along with your own.
レイ君が負けたら私のことを諦めるでしょ。
Makoto muttered as if the words were painful for her to speak. Right. If I lose, then I'll give up on you, Makoto. I affirmed her words with the most deadly serious look possible, so she knew full well I wasn't joking. I'll completely cut off contact with you, and ignore you if you try to talk to me in class. The two of us will effectively become total strangers. And incidentally, if you try to forfeit the game right now, the same condition will apply.
普通逆じゃん。私が勝ったらレイ君は私のものになってよ。
No.
なんで
Makoto shouted at me. I couldn't help but smirk. This was the moment I'd been waiting for. Oh, Dolce? Hey! Hey! Come here. Oh? Oh, he probably needs more water. Hold on. See, his water bowl is empty. Ugh. Come here. I gave him some pats on the back and he started getting all excited. Yes, Dolce? Yes? Yes, can I help you? Okay. Maybe Ro's feeling a little needy. Maybe. I'll give you some butt scratches, okay? Just a little bit. Okay. Fairly relatable, to be honest. Though I guess I'd been a bit too roundabout in getting to it. Because I love you. I love you, Makoto. I'll say that again. I love you. So I will not be your plaything. I refuse to gloss over my feelings for you by becoming just a possession of yours. I do not want to be a pet, an underling, a servant, or a slave to you. I want to stand beside you as your lover. Makoto wore a grim expression as my confession fell on her ears.
私もレイ君のことは好きだよ。
I see.
だけど時計は渡せないし、勝負事で負けたくはないの。
As she spoke, she took one of the dice from the palm of my hand.
それが私なの。
Yeah, that's the Makoto I fell in love with.
二人とも相手が好きなのに変だね。
That's an understatement. I just wanted to confess to Makoto normally. Why did things have to turn out this way?
これ以上言葉は不要か。
Makoto's expression was stern as she clutched the die in her hand. Makoto, love is a gamble! I nodded back at her. Rolling dice was a game purely dependent on chance. The only way that fact could be negated would be if one of us were to cheat. Luck be a lady tonight.
超か半か。
Even.
半。勝負。
Oh my god. This is intense. On Makoto's prompt, we both cast our dice. They bounced along the ground with tiny clattering noises. The Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune! When was the last time I watched that? Unlike the hands of a clock, its rotation is a completely randomized variable. Most intense 26 roll ever. Just as I was wondering if the dice would ever come to a total rest, the outcome of the game revealed itself. Odd. Haven't heard of that show since I was a kid.
余一の班
So that's it. That was it. I couldn't tell if Makoto cheated. But if the Wheel of Fortune had favored her this time, that would mean I just didn't have the luck to beat Makoto in the game of chance.
これでおしまいか
I heard another voice. It wasn't Makoto, but Crow. What does? My eyes remained fixated on the dice as I answered her.
お主の2度目の初恋がだ
Oh, she's crying! Suddenly, a single droplet fell upon the ground. As if rain had started to fall, the ground became stained with dark spots, one after another. Looking up, I saw Makoto crying like a child would, tears streaming down her face.
最後の勝負しかと見届けた
At some point, Crow had taken off her mask, but she was still sharply glaring at me, like she was before she'd taken it off.
だが勝ちたくなかったのに
Makoto sobbed, beside herself with disbelief. Crow watched Makoto for a moment, and then she redirected her gaze towards me once again.
お主の望みや勝ち負けというのは好きな女子を泣かせるようなものなのかお主がミュートの痛手で学んだことはこの程度の結果しかもたらさないものなのか
Crow. My eyebrows twitched at her vicious chastising.
なんだ
This is not the time for you to be lecturing me. The game's not over yet.
何
Crow's eyes went wide with surprise. I motioned for her to move aside so I could stand in front of Makoto.
レイ君
I took Makoto by the shoulders as she cried, pulling her face right in front of mine. Even while crying, her eyes were beautiful.
私
I just said the game's not over yet.
でも
The game's still afoot. Because I haven't heard an answer from you yet. I wiped the tears from Makoto's cheeks, gently smiling at her.
答え
Makoto, I love you. Will you not go out with me? Makoto's face went totally blank, as if she'd been possessed by a ghost.
でも勝負は私が勝ったのにレイ君は私から離れていっちゃうんでしょ
That will depend on what your answer is.
答えはだって
Makoto, look at me. I made her gaze directly into my eyes. So she would gaze at nothing else. So she needed to gaze at nothing else. Don't overthink this on me. Ah. I just want to know one thing. Do you love me or do you hate me? Oh, we get to see him again.
私もレイ君のこと好きだよだから私のこと誠
The Gabagoos. Hey, we kissed her! Yay! Yippee! I kissed her. To stop her tears from flowing. To stop her shoulders from trembling so. It was my first kiss, so I had no idea if I was doing it right. I simply held her tight and put all my feelings into it. And he walks away. The tension quickly disappeared from her quivering body, and she returned my affections. She had such soft, girlish lips. Can he not describe it like that? The very first kiss I'd had in all my life was tinged with the taste of her tears. Our lips slowly separated, and then I saw that Makoto's cheeks were bright red.
キスしちゃった。でもどうして
How should he describe it though? I don't know, just not like that. Her soft girlish lips like most people would describe them. Well, the wind belongs to me, doesn't it? Look. I looked down at the ground. 1 and 1. Even. Supple. Not to be confused with crusty boyish lips, ew. Hence, the win is mine.
なんて
I grinned at Makoto, who was clearly shocked. I knew I didn't stand a chance against you if I played the usual way. So I made you want to lose.
私が負ける
You can freely manipulate the faces on the dice, right? You're hoping from the bottom of your heart that not to be separated from me. So this is the result. Her perfectly chapped lips that were in desperate need of Vaseline. You cheated.
イカ様じゃしょうがないかな
Makoto finally returned my smile. I breathed a sigh of relief. A man's greatest desire is wanting to see the girl he loves smile, not to make her cry. I noticed that Crow had conveniently disappeared. I guess she'd finally read the situation well for once. By the way, Makoto, this seems like a bad time to ask, but
懐中時計のこと
can you hand them over to me now? We made a deal after all. Ain't that the
あなた
truth?
がいればこんなのもういらないわ
I like how wiggly her smile looks. Makoto showed me a smile warm as the summer's day. I returned a smile of my own. So the story ends. Happily ever after, indeed. Is that actually the end? Oh! That's actually the end? Did we clear the route? I guess we did! Oh, I can skip it. Oh. Then, one particular Sunday later...
で本当のところは
Huh? Gazing at the passing scenery outside the monorail window, hearing Crow's voice caused me to direct my gaze back inside. She was floating there with a stern expression. No, I'm on my way to a date with Makoto here, so you didn't need to follow me.
ドア4我が輩がついてきたのではなく我が輩の乗っているモノレールにご主人が乗ってきたのではないか
Master, eh? Fidgeting with Crow's watch in my hand, I couldn't help but smirk. I was only separated from Crow for a short time, but I realized just how much I appreciated her company. Well, anyway, you were asking something about the true events?
誠との最後の勝負あれはどうやって勝ったの
Yep, we didn't have to worry about any more Edo jump scares. It's pretty much exactly as I explained it to her. The power of Makoto's love for me was great enough to exceed that of any divine power. Isn't that good enough explanation for you?
お主がそんな殊勝な玉か
I looked away, but I was still grinning from ear to ear. Maybe date leads to Edo jump scares? I don't know! Well, if you're thrown into a battle you can't afford to lose, it usually isn't a good idea to rely on something fickle like emotion. Power of love! I thought back on that day. It was surely the most bombastic scene in all of my life up until now. That was an interesting one. Makoto was like his rival for half of it, yeah. The moment when the dice lay at our feet. Riz Maxing! I had done everything I could. But really, I wouldn't want to destroy the romance of that moment by telling you the whole truth.
まったく
Welcome back, Crow.
別にお主が我が輩の帰るべきところではないのだがな
Even as Crow gave me another comeback, the smile on her face never faded.
ただいまである
Gotcha, yeah, he cheated, technically. A real man makes his own luck. I got off the train at the station by the park, parting ways with Crow. Today was a Sunday, so I wasn't heading to school. Checking the time on my phone, I headed towards the beach where I was meant to meet with Makoto. We just put that. Oh, okay, she's clothed. Yo, you're early. I came before the promised time, but Makoto was already there waiting for me.
いやなんか楽しみすぎて
Here I thought Misaki was a tsundere. Crazy early? Didn't you tell me you wake up at the crack of dawn every day, though?
うん起きたのは午前3時くら
Oh
いだ
my
ったか
god.
な
You call that waking up early? Where I come from, that'd be called insomnia.
そうとも言うかも
That's the only way to put it. Makoto giggled at me. For Makoto, who had only begun to understand what it meant to love someone, it was the best way for her to communicate her feelings in that moment. Good grief. Seeing her so happy like that was making me blush.
ところで持ってきてくれた
Yeah. Reaching into my pocket, I pulled out a watch. It wasn't Crow's watch, but rather the one Makoto had found in her cellar at the home.
じゃあ
Oh, they're gonna throw it into the sea! Feels like such a waste, though.
レイ君その時計から変な影響を受けてない
I
よ
thought
ね
Ray would turn yandere, to be honest. I'm joking. Smiling at her, I took the watch and threw it into the sea with all my strength. Glimmering in the summer sunlight as it soared in the air, then it landed in the water and sunk below the surface without fanfare. Someone else could always find it, though. But it was best to keep those unpleasant thoughts to myself.
これですっきりしたね
I thought it might have been better to destroy it, though.
そこはまあやっぱりなんかもったいないし
Hey! Dolce! Come here! Making weird noises licking the carpet. Hey! Come here. His head is all low to the... He knows he was doing something he wasn't supposed to, huh? You know you were being bad, huh? Yeah. Hey! Stop. Run, boy, run! Why can't we be the yandere for a change? Hey! I have to go, my headphone battery is dying. Alright! But thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a good sleep. Hopefully. This is a first. A first? 4? And I see the resolution though. Good night!
私たちの思い出の品でもあるからね
Makoto giggled, even while she seemed troubled about the watch. A watch was, of course, made out of metal, so ideally it'd just sink to the bottom of the sea and not cause any more trouble. If it did wash up on the beach somewhere, then it could cause more problems. I've never been recommended someone playing my favorite pure visual novel of all time live. Wait, really? Welcome in! Hope you're having a good day. Finding the watch would be a terrible misfortune for whoever might end up taking it from the beach, but I think everyone dreams of having that kind of adventure, even if it means enduring a bit of misfortune. I've gotten plenty of pre-recorded videos, but never live. It'll cause problems when Ariel gets it at the bottom of the sea. Just like Makoto and I once did.
それじゃあふつつかものですが改めてよろしくお願いします。
Makoto bowed politely, and that was that. Makoto had insisted to me that, until the moment we threw the watch into the sea, we wouldn't officially be lovers. Now, on Makoto's route, you done anyone else? Not yet, no. She is the first route I've done. Therefore, this is the moment where our relationship became notarized. The feeling is quite mutual. Dating an old-fashioned girl like Makoto was a big commitment, especially when taking into account her unique family circumstances. In other words, she expected me to follow through to the very end. I would only love her. She's kind of the Leon Kennedy pick for this game. Is she? I wanted to romance Crow, but then I found out you had to do like 4 other girls before her, and I was like, man. Most people pick Makoto first. I wanted my time goddess, but no! They said no, you cannot have her. Damn, Echo would love her. She even has a fox mask. Yeah. There are people who want to pick Mew first. Funnily enough. Oh. I always feel bad for that. Yeah, no, because she's not an option. Michiru. Yeah, Michiru is Syrup's favorite one. They want Michiru so bad. They want Michiru so bad. I was one of those people. In all my life, I'd never had a simpler problem to deal with before.
さて難しい話はおしまい。
Michiru is generally a player favorite. Can you blame us though? Likewise.
デートだデート。
Yay, date! Makoto skipped along, holding onto my arm.
あ、でももう相手のことが大好きだって分かって恋人になったんだからデートじゃないのかな。
There's still plenty of things we don't know about each other, so I would call it a date.
なんだろう、レイ君のその言葉がなんかエッチい気がする。
If you're interpreting it that way, then that makes you the lewd one.
時計のせいでおかしかった時のことは忘れて。
As if the memory of her showing off in her birthday suit for me on the rooftop had come back into her mind, Makoto went totally red in the face. So cute. Still, the first major goal I set for myself back then was graduating from my status as a virgin, okay. Well, there wasn't any need to rush. Great! Yay! He grew up! Yay! That being said, I did make... Ray! Never mind, I retract my statement. Alright then, let's get going.
まず映画だね。
We're literally preaching the message of everyone crashing out over Pragmato for a decade before it came out. Holy shit, character development. Yeah, did you decide on what you'd like to see? There goes me speaking too soon. Both of us! You and me both! There's a reason I really love this character so much. I really like Ray as a character. He is funny. He can be funny. I do like him better than Yuichi from Kenon. Yuichi made me mad sometimes because Yuichi was dumb. Once again, I left the choice of which movie to go see in Makoto's hands. And at my question, Makoto flashed a big, soulful eyes at me.
それなんだけど。
But no, seriously, I didn't have lewd thoughts if that's the case. You think that's what makes you the lewd one? Yuji would get really mad at that and then he'd forget and not care. Yeah! Whoa, wait a second. I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
私も思うところはあるんだけど、今何を上映してるのかなって調べたら、またすごく見たいもの見つけちゃ
It's
った
the
の。
movie we went and saw the first time, isn't it?
いいでしょ。
You can't say no once you've fallen in love. I guess so.
やったー。
Makoto leapt for joy and came right up in front of me. And then she held out her hand to me. Oh, she's so cutie!
さあ、行こう。
You don't need to rush. Summer's only just begun for the two of us. We can just take our time.
レイ君は熱血が足りないな。急がなくちゃダメだよ。楽しい時間はあっという間に過ぎちゃうんだから。
I think you're right about that. Smiling, I took Makoto's outstretched hand. Time and tide wait for no man. The constant flow of time never changes. And yet, somehow, falling in love seemed to expedite the turning of the clock. That was the most powerful kind of magic I knew. Oh, cute. That's cute. But so, since you haven't done Michiru, gauge your patience and see how long you can stand it without picking her, because if you actually like her, it could affect reception to others. Oh? What do you mean? Sorry if you hear Dolce eating in the background. Oh!
クロノクロック。
1 out of 4. 1 out of 4 girls. Stuff like this makes me want to fall in love for once. Ah, I love romance. Romance so good. I love romance. Romance my favorite. There's memories? Wait, let me put this up just in case. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, good thing I put that up. I see. The memories of Gabagool.
クロノクロック。
Yeah, they were staring at me. They were staring at me. Though I'm 100% honest on this, Michiru is unbridled favorite. Most players tend to agree. I had a bit of a heavier reaction to her. I'd probably do her last. I'd probably do her last. I want my time goddess. Shall not forget what happened. No, you shall forget. You shall forget.
クロノクロック。
Hold on, let me go onto this screen so it doesn't go into one of those thingies. Oh gosh. I don't know if I don't know if I should do the other route. Like, I don't know how long it would take doing the other routes live. Like, I don't know if they'd be like 1 to 2 streams per route or what. You got a sixth sense for knowing when the sensor is needed. I figured since I was like, the thing is probably they probably have certain things in the memories. But to make it as least spoilery, Michiru's route is considered the favorite, so if you like it as much as others, it might make you less receptive to the other stories. You want to? I don't mind. We have to though in order to get to Crow! I can't romance Crow if I don't go after the sister, and that upsets me. You can skip the prologue and start from the first choice. Yeah. I mean, obviously I wouldn't do the prologue over again. If people want to watch the prologue, they can watch the first 2 streams for that. If only I'd known this in advance. But we have to romance Michiru in order to get the crow. I want Crow. She's the one I want. Makoto was really cute though. Doesn't want to do prologue 1 to 67 each time. Don't worry, you won't regret going for Michiru after you're done with it, but it's all your call. I think I do it probably in the order of... maybe... Misaki, Didi, and then Michiru? Maybe? Question mark? You learn to love Michiru. Time goddess is the goal. She is! I want her so bad! I want her so bad! I am on my knees, slamming my fist into the ground. I need her! And also, if you average 3 to 3.5 hours per stream, you could probably clear a route per stream. That's what I was thinking, because I think what was the... Down for Bonnie reading Teeny's lines? I don't want to read her lines. I really don't. But yeah, on average, I usually do at least 3 hours, if not more. Where's my YouTube? Why YouTube? I need to look at my channel. Hey, I love everyone in this game. Let's see. Yeah, so I think the first 2 streams were just prologue. What did I do in the last one? Actually, no. Well, I finished the prologue the first 2 streams, and then we were on, like, the common route for the first bit of the last stream. So yeah, I think I should be able to do... maybe. Perhaps. How long did it take for me to get onto Makoto's route? No, it won't. It's like my visual novel equivalent of Toradora. I love Toradora. That one's a good anime. So like there was at least an hour. So like I think a whole route takes like 4 hours maybe? I think. Just looking at how long it took. I think it took a little over half the stream, yeah. So I think around 4 hours is the length of a route. Perhaps. 4 to 5, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I will put a poll. I'll put a poll up to see if you. It'll be like the same thing we did for Canon when we were playing that. I'll put it up to see if you guys want to see me play it still. If not, I will just play it in my free time. But that said, I want to go lay down. I want to go lay down. Thank you guys for coming by watching me play more visual novel. I'm just glad this one didn't make... Yeah, this one seems a lot more lighthearted than key visual novels. This one's a lot more lighthearted. But yeah. I had a lot of fun. Even if we don't play more routes. On stream, I had a lot of fun. And you didn't end up crying, yeah. I only ended up cringing. my goodness. But yeah. I hope syrups have a good rest of your day or night. And if you haven't already, please do something nice for yourself. You deserve good things, even if it's something small, like a little treat. I'll be looking out for if you do. I love this game. It's a pretty funny game. It's a pretty funny game. It's definitely much more ecchi than any of the other visual novels I've played so far on stream. But it's been fun. I like it a lot. Yeah. I will see you guys tomorrow. Really adds to the comedy, yeah. Have a good night, bye. I'm voting yes to the poll. Yippee! He's simultaneously stupid and really smart. Yeah, he doesn't give me the same rage that Yuichi did from Kanon. I was just calling Yuichi an idiot every single second playing through that one. Bro did not ever take action until it was way too late. Oh, but anyway, before I get distracted rambling again. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna finish, we were supposed to finish Corpse Party yesterday, but, we didn't because I was, you know. So, we're gonna finish it tomorrow instead. We're gonna finish it tomorrow afternoon. So, hope you guys look forward to that. I see syrups tomorrow. Okay. Bye-bye.